30 seconds. The show will start in 15 seconds, and this is your last audible warning.
Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
So anyway, you tell Brett Favre, man, this is...
We're tired of the witch hunt, man.
I am. Right. I'm tired of the witch hunt. Get this guy... so he plays golf with Donald Trump. He survived the Southern Miss volleyball scandal. He survived the Jen Sturger scandal. He admitted in his book that he was hooked to opioids and went to rehab 2 different times.
He's got a thick ween and 8 lawnmowers, okay? He's on his way back.
Wow. You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
The Bubba the Love Sponge show, Thursday, May 1, 2025. See, if I don't have that conversation with Babyface earlier than right before we turned on the air and what we were talking about, if I don't have that conversation with him, his automatic go-to spot is to be a dick, to make me look stupid.
Welcome back, stud.
You guys are so gay for each other. Why don't you guys just get it out of the way?
We already did.
Okay. And make out.
Oh, we've banged. We've gone all the way.
How do you think he broke his ribs?
We did it on every single.
Yeah. How do you think Brian broke his ribs? Seth was bringing it too hard.
Yeah, we've banged on every single weight machine that you have in this place, Bubba.
We don't clean up after
no
either.
towels here.
Nope.
Thank God I clean up. That means I can clean up my sweat plus your guys' residue.
Yeah.
It's
a lot to be the boss.
So anyway, listen, I've extended the Bubba Fat Man Dunks 3. I'm going to open up the show with this. I'm not going to talk about it a lot, but as you heard the guy, the gentleman yesterday say, a lot of people get paid on Fridays. And, how do you guys do payroll over at Hunter Law? Every other?
15th and 30th?
Yeah, like every other Thursday, something like that?
Every 15 days. The 15th and the 15th and then the last day of the month, whether it be the 28th, the 30th, the 31st, the 29th on the rare.
Wow, it must be nice not knowing when you're ever getting paid over there.
You know exactly when you're getting paid. It's the middle and the 15th and the last day of the month.
Well, ours is...
Need a calendar for that.
Yeah. Ours is every other Thursday, which ends up being 26 pay periods. But there are people, and I have worked at different places where they paid you on Friday. Like when I worked at CBS at B96 in Chicago, they paid you every Friday. And I can remember what my take home back then was $900, because I get it in cash because I wasn't, I wanted to blow it all. Was $900, and my take home was $951 every Friday. So that was bad.
So they would just give it to you in cash?
It was owned by CBS.
Okay.
So, it was corporate CBS, probably out of New York. I get my check, and my condo my apartment that I lived in, McClurg Court Apartments, which was right across the street from the studios, but also within my high rise, there was a Holiday Inn, dry cleaners, a movie theater, a bowling alley, and a bank. And so I would just go right down to the bank, and if I had rent, I think my rent was like $1,800 back then. This is 1989.
Whoa, that's big rent.
Yeah,
man.
it is. It was 2 weeks' pay.
That was with that one lady.
So
right?
I had like basically, Brian, like 3 weeks.
Is this when you were blasting Samantha Fox?
It's when I did blast her.
And the landlord?
And Ellie.
Yeah.
And I blasted a girl named Andrea.
Have you?
Who lived in Bering, like her dad was or whatever, real rich.
In your early days, Bubba, were you ever turning it down, or were you just taking all comers?
No, I was turning a lot down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially, man, listen,
Like college?
Chicago.
You turned stuff down in college?
Not in college.
I was going to say, okay.
Yeah, college,
Yeah.
I see my life, kind of had a reset in college because I was in high school. I was very popular. In fact, I got voted, this is what, remember back I don't even know that high schools can vote.
No, senior superlatives. Yeah.
But I don't know that in today's woke-ass environment that you can even have those because it will make other people feel not so good about themselves.
We had most likely to transition. We had.
Oh, God.
Now it's not prom king or queen, it's prom people.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
So anyway, we had, like most athletic, most likely to succeed, this is what I got voted. Prettiest smile, most class spirit, most likely to stay in Warsaw.
Most likely to cause a race war.
And there was no black people in Warsaw.
No, but I mean, you had that one game where you all wore the KFC buckets on your head.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And threw out hubcaps during the opening ceremonies. I got in so much trouble for that.
That's why you won you most school spirit.
So anyway, I was really popular in high school. I was me and Larry were part of the cool clique. Now, we weren't part of the rich, good-looking cool clique. We were just in the cool clique mostly because we were the captains of the football team. That's mostly. So I really loved high school. I loved high school. I loved it. I was popular, whatever. Well, then when I went to college, man, I was nothing. You are absolutely nothing. So, Lummy, I went to go walk on, because I was going to try to play football, and I went to go walk on when I enrolled there, and I went right to the football office, and I said, I want to try to walk on. They're like, well, walk-ons are a semester behind. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? They're like, well, the walk-ons that made the team for this fall, which, by the way, we're 3 weeks into this, we're 3 weeks into the season.
In high school, all my teachers told me I was 3 years behind.
Yeah. And they're like, all the walk-ons that are on the team right now, they walked on in the spring. So if you want to try to walk on, you got to sign up in January or something. Yeah. And we do them in February or March.
Yeah, that's about right.
And so, if you want to walk on, you got to do it in March. So I went to every football game and watched and, sized up, the nose guard who was guy's named Doug Arnold.
I'm better than him.
No, I wasn't.
I'm better than Doug
hold
Arnold.
on. Doug Arnold was 6'3", 275, and could bench press 505. And was like a junior.
He's never seen a Bubba Clem swim move.
Lummy, I only had one chance to make it, and that would be because I was a pretty good long snapper. My dad, when I was in 7th grade, my dad said, listen, one great vision of Doug Clem was like, listen, you will always football teams, and this is even in pro. I mean, Brian,
we had a kid from River Ridge High School, I think Ryan Benjamin, ended up winning a Super Bowl ring with the Bucks, being their long snapper.
Yeah, he's like, listen, my dad was like, listen, if you can be a long snapper, you can always make the team. Because they always need two of them. You always need two of them. And if you're good, but this was back when they could cream the center. Remember back in the day, they just most in the last maybe 10 years have made it so you can't put a guy on top of the center and smoke him. Man, when I was playing football, the guy could line up, they'd put two on you and smash the hell out of you. So anyway, I started long snapping my 7th grade year and got better and better and better and better at it. So when I went to Indiana State, my measurables, Lummy, weren't quite, I probably didn't have the measurables to make the team, but I could long snap like almost as good as their starting long snapper. So I made the team.
Nice.
For that spring. And I lasted exactly 7 practices. I was on the team for 7 practices.
And what happened?
Well, we were doing second team punt versus first team punt return practice. So I'm second team long snapper. Okay, and for a walk-on, that's pretty good.
Yes.
That means I probably would have traveled because,
Yeah, somebody gets it. If your real long snapper gets injured.
Right. So, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. And I snap it, perfect snap. They got a guy that creams me, but they don't block. We get a great punt off, and there's a guy named I remember like nothing. His name was Jimmy Edwards, number 44 from East St. Louis, Illinois, and he was about as tall as Barry Sanders and as thick as Earl Campbell. He was so bad. He was so good. And he was back there returning punts. And he kind of breaks one out. And I'm not the relief guy. Like, I'm not the last guy to get him. But, I got to get him. And he's on the sideline. So he's not doing any more juking. He's just trying to outspeed me. And the next thing you know, man, I got blocked by somebody right on the side of my knee, like just straight on my knee. And I couldn't walk. I mean, I knew instantaneously
that you were never making the pros.
That I was probably going to have to get. Like I knew I was going to have to get surgery. Oof. So I blew out my MCL.
Did you give a thumbs up as they were carrying you off the field?
Oh no! You know what they did?
Practice.
They said, "Throw him over to the sidelines. We got the next rep to go."
I need to be airlifted. Put me in a helicopter.
So they get the trainer. They get the trainer. They get me over to the sidelines. They get the orthopedic surgeon because he's at the practice. He's looking at it. They're icing it, and it's like it was my left knee, and I was just like, oh my God! It was literally swollen up, like just. You could watch it swell up.
I'm a sycamore and Jimmy Edwards is a lumberjack.
And I went for surgery on Tuesday and never played again. Like, wow. That was it.
Oh, what could have been?
And so Dennis Rates, the head coach, actually, I was back then, man, when you had like an MCL tear, nowadays it's an outpatient. It was like, I was in the hospital like 2 days, 2 or 3 days.
So was that the 84 team?
That was the 80. That would have been the 85 team.
Oh, okay.
That would have been the 84 team made it clear to the finals.
Yeah, they're
against
in the Hall of Fame.
Against Middle Tennessee State.
Oh,
am I right?
Yeah. They made looks like they're in the Hall of Fame.
But you remember the number and the name of every guy on your team. We're going to take your word for it that you know
so anyway,
what happened the year you were scouting them out.
My freshman year, I'm up there scouting them out. They make it clear to the playoffs against Middle Tennessee State. Indiana State's like 10-0. And I'm like, man, I really want to walk on this team because for one division, 1 AA, this team, Indiana State was a really good program. And so I'm like, cool.
Jimmy Edwards is actually in chat, and he said he took you out on purpose because of the KFC bucket thing. He had heard about it.
It wasn't Jimmy Edwards that took it out. I was trying to tackle Jimmy Edwards. I don't even know who hit me.
It was Jimmy Edwards. That's how fast
Jimmy Edwards didn't hit me. Some guy hit me right on the knee. And then afterwards, they had a big meeting about, like, listen, you cannot hit your fellow players in practice. You can't blow out his MCL. So Dennis Rates, the head football coach, who at that time, when you're playing, ball on that level, you only have like a position coach. You don't talk to the head coach. The head coach only talks to like the stars, like the quarterback and, but if you're an offensive lineman or you're a defensive, you're going to talk to your position coach. Very rarely are you going to get a word with the head coach unless he's mad at you. He came into my hospital room and said, listen, it looks like your surgery went pretty well, but I don't think that you're probably ever going to be able to have the strength in that knee to play. But I want to let you know that you did for the limited time that you played.
You're a good soldier.
You really were. You're a really good long snapper. And here's what he invited me to. Lummy, this was pretty cool. I didn't take him up on it because I felt it would have been like a jobber situation. He said you would have made the team,
right?
And you're willing, if you want to rehab, and because the team had a workout place and then the students had a workout place. You know what I'm saying? The team had its own. He's like, if you want to rehab your knee at the team weight room, that's no problem. And if you'd like to stand on the sidelines during the ball, during games, well, we wouldn't have a problem with that. And I was like, I did take him up on the rehab. I rehabbed my knee mostly at their place, but I didn't on Saturdays, I didn't even want to go to the game.
Well, yeah, they were 4-6.
Yeah, my next year we were 4-6, and it's because they didn't have a good long snapper. And so,
have you told Shiloh the story about overcoming obstacles?
No, I've not.
Quitting and never going back?
No, I've not.
As soon as you get hurt?
It's leaving it all on the field, Brian, is what I took from it.
Thanks. So, Brian asked me if I was, if there was a...
I asked if you ever turned down vagina, and we just heard the whole story about your career.
But hold on. It tied into, Brian, me being a nothing. So I go from high school, and I'm kind of unpopular, kind of cool, captain of the football team, wrestle. Then I go to college, and I got a chance, Lummy, because if you're on the football team, you were kind of cool.
Yeah, you got a different swagger.
Yeah. Well, I didn't make the football team. I came 9. I had 7 to 9 practices where I was cool. Then I was a nobody. Then I went to the kind of through a depression.
Oh.
Where I couldn't really. I was trying to find a girl.
Had to start plowing high school chicks again.
No. I ended up doing that. I did.
Jeez Louise.
But that's only after radio saved me. Radio saved me and got me cool again.
Oh, that's the name of the documentary.
Radio saved me and got me cool again because I was not cool. I was just some,
Did you miss just putting your head between your legs and not seeing anybody back there?
No, but I missed, having a hot piece of ass, touching my penis.
Yeah, I get that.
The quarterback? I thought you were a long snapper.
No, I mean, shut up. Brian, you know what? I can tell that you've been off a week because you really need to back it down a notch. I'm trying to be nice, but like everything
I'm
out of
trying to be nice
everything out of your mouth is you're not even dancing with me at all. It's like everything stepping on my toes, shoving it up my ass.
Taking out your other MCL, laying you out on the field.
So, I went through like all of, 85, and I went all depressed. Like, I couldn't really find a chick, skipping class, getting bad grades. I got on steroids to try to get, I figured I could be part of I joined the Indiana State powerlifting team.
Oh, nice.
And I actually was really good at it. And I was like, went to these meets and placed first in a couple. I placed first in a couple meets. I placed third, but I won the bench pressing because my body is completely made for bench pressing. Barrel chested and short arms equals a great bench presser. Now I was a horrible deadlifter. Because, Lummy, you need long arms for that.
Yeah, yes.
And so, literally, like, I was the worst deadlifter, but the best bencher.
Or I could clean and jerk it with the best of them, too.
No, clean and jerk isn't part of the 3 powerlifting moves. It's squat, deadlift, bench press.
I'm such a soy boy. I don't know.
So, Lummy, in 85, like some late 85, I meet this dude. He hops me up on some steroids. I get big as hell, strong as hell.
Wait, who's this dude that you meet, and where do you meet him? Why are you burying the lead on this? Who is your drug dealer?
I don't want to really mention his name.
The statute of limitations expired.
Nah, I just don't want to mention his name. He
rhymes with Barry Ferd. No, I'm joking.
I know. You know what? It would be Terry Bird. I don't know what the hell you're.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Larry Bird. Oh, okay. Larry, if you ever watched Larry Bird, I don't think Larry Bird ever took a steroid in his life.
His performance-enhancing drugs were Marlboros and Budweiser.
Yeah,
exactly. So I start lifting, getting really big into lifting all through 85 and 86. And then, Lummy, my fateful day, I was really big and jacked up. So I worked at Jubilation, this nightclub, in March of 86. And that's when I met Kerry Gray. And he gave me my first shot on the radio, April Fool's Day of 86. Of which, next year, Lummy, I don't know, maybe Seth or maybe we do something, maybe we don't. But it's my 40th year in radio. or my 40th year. I mean, I guess you can't even say radio anymore because it makes you sound like some boomer. It's my 40th year of being a content creator. But I think I'm more than that. But anyway, it's my 40th year in whatever we're doing nowadays.
All right, and so we've got time to plan the celebrations.
Yeah, and we actually have a date, April 1st.
There we go.
April 1st
Regina's
is my
birthday.
is my actually my 40th anniversary. You know,
That's a long time, Bubba.
I think we should probably try to do something.
You want to do some big event at the Tampa Theater?
I don't know.
Or maybe something at Bubba Raceway Park.
I mean, maybe the documentary will be out by then.
Let's have 40 people that have been pivotal in your career, good or bad.
Good or bad?
Bubba Clem,
listen,
this is your life.
I think we have a year. I'm sorry. I think we have 11. We have exactly 11 months to plan it.
All right, let me get on it.
But I think, Lummy, I know what I want my 40th anniversary on radio to be. I know what I want it to be, but I can't say it on the air, and I can't even say it on the hot mic. I'd have to text you guys all it.
What'd you do for your 30th celebration as a content?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. Nothing. How about the Lightning? Just straight choke.
It was Florida's a better team than them. They've got us figured out. We've got to figure out how to figure out
Defend
what
them.
they figured out. They just it was incredible because the Lightning played well. It's not like they went out there and played like complete ass. Florida was just better. I mean, Florida scored. They were in the right places at the right times.
Now it says that we got 9 point. We've kind of salvaged. Needing to win. And having a smaller window to win it all, we've salvaged a ton of draft picks. And so I think our first draft pick, Brian's a 4th rounder this year. But we do have not nearly $10 million in salary cap space. And I was reading today on my ESPN app after they got beat, and it had a little thing like, what do all 32 teams need to do to reset or get ready for the playoffs? And it said the Lightning and Brisbros, I don't know if that's how you say it. I don't know how you say it. I'd call them Brisbros. Our general manager will probably be active on trying to get some free agents in here. Brian, what's your take of it? And what do you think are we a really good defenseman away? What's your opinion? And don't forget, we for the first time, I think in probably 6 or 7 years, we have actually a little bit of salary cap to deal with.
Yeah, they're going to have a little bit of space. I mean, they got to shore up that third line and fourth line. That's where you really win in the NHL playoffs. Although those lines played decent for us. Kucherov disappeared. No goals. I think he maybe had 2 points in the series. Point. Hagel was either out suspended or concussed. That didn't help us much.
That probably really hurt us more than we even think.
Well, the one game he was suspended, we won 5-1. And then the 2 that he missed essentially with the concussion, we lost. That was a big difference maker for us. We're not far away from being competitive with Florida, who's right now the defending Stanley Cup champs. It wasn't like we got embarrassed in these games.
Actually, we had at the end of the year we were third and they were the 4th seed. So we were right there.
Part of the problem is the way the NHL seeds for the playoffs.
God, I know.
Yeah.
Like they got 2 of the best teams taking each other out in the first round.
It's not good for the brand. I'll tell you that right now. They need to figure that out because it's
well. They need to rank them 1 through 8 conference.
Yeah.
And do it that way: 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, 4-5. That's instead of doing it inter division. They need to do it That's what all major sanctioning bodies break it down to the conference. And so, why wouldn't they cannibalize their good teams, divisional teams? I mean, your number 2 and 3 seeds sometimes are gone.
Yeah. It's
agree?
It's not a great plan for them, in terms of
but I don't
getting
think
the best matchups later.
The NHL is so hard-headed and so been around since the 1800s.
How come we weren't saying this when the Bolts went to 3 straight Stanley Cups? How come we weren't dogging the playoff setup then?
Because we were winning then.
Because we were winning, Seth.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
I
was
just wanted to make
stupid.
sure.
Now it's stupid.
now it's stupid.
Well, it was stupid then, but it wasn't hurting us.
Right.
Now it's hurting us. It's
Exactly.
stupid.
So anyway, I mean, what do you do? Is there a particular position or a particular player we target for free agency? We're not going to do it through the draft. We got like 2 4s, 1 5, a 6, and a 7, something like that. So do we trade? Do we trade a point? Or do we,
Oh, no. The core will stay intact.
So you're talking about the Hedman, Point,
Hedman, Point, Hagel,
Vaz.
Gensel, Vazzy, Cooch, Gensel.
Gensel.
Yeah.
I mean, is there one particular guy? I would say it would be a defenseman. I mean, we go out and find the biggest sling and D defenseman we can, and to give Hedman some help.
Yeah, and McDonough's getting long in the tooth, and Chernak hasn't turned out to be quite as good as his contract would suggest they thought he would be. So they're overpaying a little bit on him.
Did I get highlights from that?
Yes. You want me to resend them?
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, listen, just to let you know, a lot of people get paid on Friday. That was my original. 25 minutes ago, a lot of people get paid on Friday. I used to get paid on Fridays back in the 80s. So Brian, my expenses. So it took 2 weeks to pay my rent. 2 weeks of paychecks, and then the third week of my paychecks would be like for my car payment and electrical and stuff like that. So I only had about 900, but I had one paycheck that I could blow. I had about $1,000 a month that I could blow when I lived in Chicago back in 1989.
But I mean, that was like for food and everything, right?
No, that was paycheck 3.
Oh,
Paycheck 1 and 2 was for rent. Paycheck 2 was for car payment, food, cell phone bill, and back then cell phone bills were
$10,000 a month.
So that was paycheck 3, and then paycheck 4 was what I had to. So if you back in 1989, if you had $1,000 a month to spend to blow on whores and stuff, you
Blow?
Louis Vuitton handbags for whores and
Test. Deca.
No, I wasn't on. I got off all that in college. I was like, I'm in radio now. I don't need to lift weight. I don't need to bench 300 to get ass. I just need to be on the radio.
Just need to be able to lift D's nuts.
So let me to answer Brian's question. There was a chance where I was like depressed and didn't have a lot going for me, and that would have been like 1985. 85 was a bad year for me.
So when you say you were a power lifter, you just mean you were banging big chicks, but in 85.
No, it means I was.
We got it.
No.
We got it.
But the first chick that I did bang in Terre Haute was a big girl, Candy.
Yeah, Candy.
She was a radio groupie too. And then I handed her over to Jeff, and after I farted in her face, he goes, "Thick, did you just fart in her face?" I go, "Yeah."
I'm done with her.
I go, "Yeah," and he goes, "Wow. And she's still sticking around?" I go, "Yep. Candy, take care of Jeff. I'm going to take a shower." And let me, that's when your shower wasn't in your room. It was in the middle of the quad, so you had to bring your shower shoes and your towel.
Yeah, you're sharing it with like 30 other
And there's
guys.
like 3 showers for like 20 dorms. So you had to wear shower shoes so you didn't get athletics feet. They always told you, and it was always an urban legend that you should pee on your feet.
Yeah, to harden the...
No, to sterilize
The ammonia.
Because
Well,
the ammonia in your feet will get rid of any bacteria that you could potentially pick up. So you would pee on your feet. But the thing about it is the guy before you also peed on his feet, so you got his pee residue in there too.
Well, just like they say to pee on your feet, they were saying, for baseball to pee on your hands. So...
Really?
Yeah.
Dry it out, make it harder, callous.
Callus up your hands.
So anyway, the Fat Man Dunks 3 have been extended till Monday at noon. And Monday at noon is when we're going to, to put the order in. And I reiterated to Shiloh yesterday. I said, "Do you really want me to order you a pair of 13?" And he goes, "Unc, I'll wear them. So Lummy, maybe when we're doing that one drill with him, he'll wear my He'll wear my tennis shoes.
There you go.
Shiloh blows out his MCL.
Oh, because
From the fat man, Doug 13's failing.
Oh, boy.
So listen to this. I'm going to go to words with this. Dion calls me. Was it Monday, Lummy, or Sunday?
I thought it was Sunday. Because you told us Monday.
Yeah, so Dion calls me on Sunday. And he said, I hate getting into my Dion impersonations. Boy, you want to talk about somebody that can impersonate him. Shiloh can do him like can imitate his dad better than anybody. So
Shiloh looks like Jamie Foxx.
he kind of does. So Dion calls me and Sponge. I just talked to Todd Bowles, and they're going to sign, I think they already signed Shiloh to an undrafted, free agent spot. Somebody said I forget who it was, but somebody looked at like the Bucks roster, the updated Bucks roster, and they already got Shiloh on there.
Really?
Yeah. So Dion calls me and says, my son Shiloh is going to try out for the Bucks. He's got an invitation / undrafted free agent kind of deal, and I need you to take him under your wing a little bit and get him hooked up. Just, make sure he's okay, make sure he's not hanging out the wrong places, take him to the cool places, blah, blah, blah. So then I get a call from Shiloh. Now, I've only met Shiloh 1 or 2 times prior, but he was like, instantaneously, I hope you guys don't put a creepy connotation on it, but he's already calling me Uncle Bubba. So he's like, yeah, Unc, I need to get a realtor. I need to find out where I'm going to be staying. And so I've been, remember, if you live up by where you live, the Nye family is huge into real estate.
Yes, they are.
I mean,
very big.
Probably the biggest up there in Pasco County, and
They're everywhere. Everywhere up there, you see a lot of signs from
right.
them.
Brett Nye helped put this building deal together when Mark Tate bought it. Brett Nye helped put that deal together. Well, his sister Molly Nye does the residential end of their realtor company. And she sold my sister's house, and she brokered my sister's new house. And so Molly Nye is super cool. And if you're looking for a realtor, just look up, Nye Realty and ask for Molly. I should have her number. So I call Molly Nye up, and I said, Molly, I got a guy, Shiloh Sanders, Deion Sanders' his son. He's moving to Tampa. He gets here. By the way, he gets here tomorrow, and he needs a place to rent. And what's the cool places? Then I call Matt Heller. I said, Heller, where does he need to live? And Heller's like, well, you got 1 or 2 options. You can live downtown, like in the same building with Flair and where Gronk lived and all that, and that's cool. But people grow old of it real fast, of the traffic, and it's just, there's just, you got a couple different options. So Heller kind of gave me some insight. Molly Nye secured a place, and I think Shiloh gets here tomorrow, and we're going to do a walkthrough. And it's going to be on his YouTube channel, Instagram. They're also going to give us the content. So yesterday, and it's, hold on.
Molly Nye, help out my guy. He's looking to rent, not buy. Is that how it went, Bubba?
It was pretty a little whimsical, on the spot.
I got Tech 9 on today at noon. Maybe I can have Brian spit some lines to him.
There you go.
He wants to live somewhere where he won't die. And
the deal was cut by Molly Nye.
Airport, he's got to fly.
And he's on the Bucks that you cannot deny.
A week off for Brian is like giving him an 8-ball of cocaine.
You sometimes wonder why Bubba put Brian on the air. Why? Something, I don't know.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm in the NFL now, you know what I'm saying? We got camp next week. I report May 8th.
So remember, let me, May 8th.
Yes.
So that one thing that I want to do with him, we need to do maybe on the 7th.
And I got to get there ready, bro. Ready to go, ready to fly around. You know what I'm saying? Just be in the top shape of my life. So I got to get right. I'm here with Coach Swayze, Coach Corey.
All right, it shows him doing drills.
His hair is just not like.
And it shows him doing drills and lifting some weights. He's inside the indoor.
But I'm feeling a little woozy.
And so
I didn't know I had So you did upper yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So it shows him doing, all these drills and all this kind of
I'm ready to get
deal.
out of here. You put your backpack on faster than my 40 time.
So he ended it with this. And so, Brian, I thought this was pretty cool. Seth put it over, but you probably won't. Just because, isn't that horrible? In fact, like, I think this is cool. I'm very proud of this. It's kind of cool. And Shovel Face over there will instantaneously take a shiz on it. You ready?
Come on, babyface.
Give me a chance.
All right,
Give
here
me
you
a
go.
chance, Coach.
So this is how he ends it. This is how Shiloh ends it. By the way, this is gonna hit. I think it's at 80-some thousand views. It's been up only for a few hours. This will probably hit 500,000 views.
Easy.
To pick out the spot tonight, so Tampa, I'm gonna be there soon. Shout out Uncle Bubba. He gonna take care of me when I touch down. If you in Tampa, y'all know who he is.
I mean,
That's pretty cool.
That's kind of cool.
No, that's cool. I like the way he smiled, too, when he thought of your name. Shout out to Uncle Bubba.
Yeah.
Bubba, he gonna take care of me when I touch down. If you in Tampa, y'all know who he is.
This is a great story. A professional football player doesn't find out he has a white uncle until he makes it into the NFL.
Hey,
It's kind of like the blind side, just a little different.
I'm going to position myself so that I'm kind of his Alex. Tom Brady had a guy named, remember Alex?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if I'm going to get that. I'm not.
and-
Yeah, I'm not going to. I don't think I should. I don't think I have the. I don't think I have the credentials to be a nutritionist, but I have the credentials to be able to maybe show him around town a little bit.
Are you going to be wanting to be on the sidelines during the games?
No,
and
I don't think.
practice?
I don't think. Listen, he's an undrafted free agent. He has zero whip. He has to make the team. He has to make the team and be humble. And
it's tough to do. There's probably 2 spots that he's fighting with 20 guys for.
And he told me this yesterday. He goes, "Unc, I'm gonna make the team. I'm gonna make the team. I'm gonna make the team." And this is what I said to him. I said, when you come to practice, your cyber truck would be okay, but don't drive your Lamborghini or anything like that. Drive your cyber truck. Don't come in all blinged out. Come in with your head down. And I said, on that first drill, whether it's a running drill, run absolutely as hard as you can. But if it's a hitting drill, hit the guy as hard as you've ever hit the guy. And then humbly go back and get in line. Don't be standing over him doing any nonsense. Nobody wants that. That's what got your brother in trouble. And that's what people don't want to see. Come in here with your head down, with the mentality of, I got to bust my ass to make the team or the practice squad. So I think Shiloh.
Did he take your advice?
I think he's going to.
Interesting.
He's got a content guy, Lummy, that's going to be with him nonstop. The Bucks have already said, listen, you know, your content guy can pick you up in the parking lot after practice, but he's not going to be on the sidelines or anything like that. I guess that I was the Friday walkthrough, or there's one particular practice that's non-hitting, that's more of a walkthrough, where I guess content creation has become such a thing that at least the NFL has addressed it, where if you do have somebody that's following you around doing content, there is one portion of practice they're allowed to come to. And that's for everybody, as far as, you know, if you're Baker Mayfield's guy, or you're the what's the tackle from Iowa, the badass
Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, whether you're that guy or whether you're, Shiloh Sanders, if you're on the team, I think your content guy is allowed access like this one particular time.
So there's 100 dweebs who follow guys around with cell phone cameras.
Probably. You know what? Probably. So anyway, Shiloh is on. I think he lands tomorrow. He's supposed to send me his information.
He's expecting you to pick him up in a limousine.
No, he's not. He's got all that arranged. And he said, we're going to...
Thank you, Julie's Limousines.
Julie's Limos? I mean, you'd have to be...
I got him a skag to mow his own lawn, too.
You know what, Lummy?
He doesn't want a skag,
No.
Bubba. He's not doing his own lawn care.
Shut up, Brian. I was going to give him Average Joe, the landscaping guy who takes care of us here, and get that account. That's what I was going to do.
Sorry, Brian.
Brian.
And I just
I don't
blew it.
And you did. You jumped the shark being a dick. Most of the time being a dick works out for you, but you jumped the shark on being a dick. I was going to probably say, Lummy, I was going to hook it up with Aaron. It would be a good deal for Aaron. And, Shiloh's going to pay.
Yeah. Is it included with his rent deal though?
I don't think so. And the place that he's staying actually has a pretty significant yard. So he's going to need...
Why don't we take care of it? We'll just personally do it ourselves.
Seth, you don't even do yours.
I got a Ryobi. Oh, never dies.
We're not showing up.
Never dies?
We're not showing up with
I got
a
two
Ryobi.
batteries. I got two batteries.
We're not.
One
there you
dies.
go.
I can
How about I have Aaron and his guys show up?
I think it'd be great content if we had Seth and Tuttle out there mowing Shiloh Sanders'
With
lawn.
Ryobis?
Them just sitting in a lawn chair watching us.
I don't think his new house has a pool. I'll have to look, Lummy. But if it does, I'll get Tease on that deal.
There you go.
And then, Lummy, probably next, Friday night, or one of these Friday nights, we'll be at the Dollhouse.
Ooh, look at that.
Make sure you invite Coach Bowles.
No. So anyway, Lummy, I'm trying to get Shiloh to do this little thing with us Monday or Tuesday. And that's where we go to a football field and we try to run routes on him, and he, covers us.
That'd be awesome.
Just for some added content. Now his content guy will be there. My content guy will be there. Well, no, my content guy won't be there because I don't have one. Gary Cantrell can't fly down from Maryland to be me here on Monday to do it, so I'm just going to have to get with his content guy, and he gets me the footage.
Yeah, that will work too.
Did you see before I let you go? Breaking news: Shedeur Sanders, pick number 144 in the NFL draft, is now the best-selling jersey in his draft class. That was confirmed by Fanatics.
Well, that's got to be tough for the "he's definitely humbled now" crowd that he got picked in the 5th round.
Supposedly, the Browns told him first. Like, I think his first day, Lummy, is also the 8th, or whatever. I don't know, but I guess the Browns told him, I don't care if you need to go to Hertz or you need to go rent a car. Don't show up with all that jewelry, and don't show up with one of your fancy cars. Go rent like an F-150.
Yeah.
So I think that's what the course. Shiloh was running hills yesterday. Did you see that?
Yeah, that looked really good.
He should really go like the full distance and just roll up in a smart car or something like that.
In the Bubba smart car.
There you go. Let's ship that up to the training facility.
No. Even better, show up in the 04 Crown Vic. That's even more hoopty.
Yeah.
Right? With no hubcaps. Or Lummy the Cream Machine. Right?
There you go. That's a little show.
Brian.
Can we get it up there?
Brian.
Get it up to Cleveland?
How cool would it be if Shedeur Sanders showed up to the Cream Machine and had it fully stocked up with ice cream and handed each player their
I don't know that that's the look he wants to go for.
That's
He's
very
a good humor, man.
Hold on. Is that not a very humbling? Is that
I don't
not
know
very
if that's
humbling?
or I don't know what that says.
Is that jobbing yourself out?
I think
You want to be the leader of the team, not the ice cream man.
If you love that segment, then check out BubbaArmyHQ.com and do a deep dive on past shows. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be right back.
Whether it's Bose or whatever, to give everybody fucking headphones and shit.
Yeah, but that's kind of.
If he does have Bose, what an easy ad campaign for him. Block out the noise. So it's everything going on around him, and then block out the noise. That commercial writes itself.
So what you do is the opening commercial opens up with.
I gotta piss, but fill me in on how this goes, okay?
So Brian, listen to me.
Watch the replay.
Brian, listen to me.
Yes, sir.
The Bose commercial opens up with the Bose logo that goes across the screen, and it says can't cancel out the noise, and then it has all it has like these sportscasters, like real quick hits.
Yeah, boom, bada boom, bada boom of all.
And then it has
dropped,
and then it has and then it has all the bubbles of social media, like, he's a failure, he's a blah, 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 bam, bam, bam. And then you show a picture of Shador putting on his headphones.
And walking onto the practice field or whatever it is.
And it's his rap song.
Yeah. It's cancel out the noise. Writes itself, like I said. I would be a hell of a marketer. I know what the. I know
You'd be a
what
hell of a
makes
radio
people
guy.
tick.
You'd be a hell of a radio guy if you could just fucking learn how to dance with me all the time.
I like stepping on toes every now and then when we're doing the cha-cha slide. You know what I'm saying? Slide to the left. Slide. What's up, Yinzer? How we all doing? Cleveland's just trying to set the tone. If there's one franchise that knows how to set the tone, it's the Cleveland Browns.
For just being absolutely shitty.
For fucking...
Yeah, for being shitty.
For fucking up your draft.
I mean, fucking nobody was taking Dylan Gabriel before the 6th round. What the hell are they doing drafting him in the 3rd?
What are you talking about? That's what the Browns do.
It's fucking unbelievable. The 10th rated quarterback goes 4th over or 5th overall. It's nuts.
You know that really kind of ridiculous movie with Kevin Costner.
Draft Day?
And it's like, it's so unfucking believable.
Yeah.
And it's so fucked up and stupid on the draft.
Yeah, that's the Cleveland Browns.
You know what team he was.
Yeah.
The Browns. It's like, they follow that fucking template.
What's up? I'm going to call you.
It's like they thought, oh shit, you can't lose him.
Bubba wanted him to call him Tampa Daddy, but Shiloh settled on Unk.
Unk.
I prefer Tampa Daddy.
Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, Unk like Shannon Sharp.
Don't even try to get it in, okay, asshole?
I didn't. Good morning, retarded.
Morning, retarded.
PFR Wabash Valley's source for rock and roll entertainment.
That's not what they said.
I don't know. Just reading chat and going off of it. What's up, Box? You are a passive-aggressive bitch, by the way.
What do you mean? I'm wearing a shirt that I designed for Smack Apparel.
Yeah.
I got paid $1,000 for it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So what are you? You're taking it out on me with lightning loss?
Yeah, because I know what you're doing.
What am I? What? You don't know anything.
I don't know. I don't own enough Chicago sports franchises to wear every time they lose. I'm just joking.
Well, I'm confused. I'm supporting my home team. The season's over. This is where we go into thank you for entertaining us. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we'll make the we're gonna make the Rumble announcement next.
Okay.
What you got? Is that the cards?
Yeah, that's the cards.
That's all the cards?
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
I thought you had a lot. I thought you had a lot of boxes of.
No, I put them all in one. So
Walter Payton color man in there.
they better be in there. I didn't check.
And then let me send the Rumble announcement air check to Sarah and Vivian.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean not multi-team packs, but multi-pack with the team.
And Brian, we're going back to Rumble on Monday. Don't take a shit on it because we're going to send the air check to the fucking guy.
Mr. Rumble.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah, we're
Rumble.
sending it to Mr. fucking Rumble.
I'm not gonna
It's
take
pretty
a
bad when I got to remind my guy every fucking thing I'm going to talk about not to take a shit on it when it involves a client.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito studios, aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Brian, if you could maybe just adjust your levels.
Yeah, hold on. Let me come back there and do that
your,
for you.
your internal
Oh,
levels.
sorry.
I got your microphone perfect. Just your internal levels. You're way aggressive this morning.
Yeah, I came in listening to some heavy metal. I was listening to Bodies, like the
Drowning
Bodies.
Pool?
Yeah,
All right,
So
That's the last thing you need to be listening to.
well,
so
then
I'm letting the bodies hit the floor today. I'm taking all you out.
he even started taking me out off the air, Bubba.
I know. I
so-
saw you walk in. He starts taking a shiz on your shirt. That's a shirt that you designed and got paid for.
I did. I designed it for Smack
I
Apparel.
just said it was very passive aggressive of him to choose today of all days to wear it.
Bubba,
That's
he
all.
looked at me and goes, "You're a passive aggressive bitch."
Hey, I know he did. I heard it.
And I
That's
don't
what
even
I
know.
said.
I don't even know how. I wear Lightning shirts all the time. It's half my wardrobe. From when I
He's just ridiculous.
And
he's
now-
impossible. He's ridiculous.
Well, Bubba, I'm wearing this shirt because the Lightning lost, and now it's like we thank them for giving us a great season, and they'll be back next year. And I'm wearing the shirt, and he's mad at me. Like he's taking out the fact that they lost on me.
That's not cool.
That's misguided anger,
he
man.
takes out everything on everybody.
You're right, Seth.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
Everything's
Not accepted.
Nothing is good as on the face of its value. Like
the Lightning lose, and then he turns his angst to me.
Like
I mean,
I'm gonna, like for instance, another good friend of mine. Hate to be a name dropper, but it is what it is. Do I have to prove how good of friends I am with Deion Sanders?
No.
I don't think I have to. Do I have to prove how good of friends I am with Tony Stewart?
No.
Don't think I have to. So Tony Stewart, another really good friend of mine yesterday, had an interesting day as he was the guest of the White Sox. White Sox hosting the Brewers yesterday.
oh man, poor Tony.
And so he
What'd they do to him, Bubba?
Well, they asked him actually to pitch, but he said I'm a horrible pitcher. That's why I'm a racer. But
Are there races in Chicago?
yeah, so the NHRA is in Chicago for their
They go right down Michigan Avenue.
this
Three of them got carjacked last time they were there.
So they're in Michigan. I tell you, the NHRA really, their promotional machine is really unbelievable. And they're like, hey, let's get Tony. And they always bring Tony out. Like, my God, Tony's not a champion or nothing.
They got his nickname above his head there, Italian Beef.
Jesus Christ. I mean, is it gonna end?
No.
Never.
It's gonna get.
Seth, does anyone go to the games? Because I watch these highlights.
No, there's nobody going to the
It looks
Chicago
like
game.
no one's there.
Too many.
So
I'll
anyway.
tell you what, Lummy. The fact that they get any people is sad. I mean, nothing's going to change if nothing changes. These
They made
people
the
need to
park.
stop going.
First of all, they made the park too big. This was one of these 90s. I'm sorry, this is one of these early circa 2000 new stadiums where they were in the,
It's right after Camden Yards.
Right. So it was like, I think White Sox Stadium or Comrex Yard or whatever it's called.
New Comiskey.
New old.
Yeah, apparently it sucks compared to other stadiums. I don't know.
But I think that the capacity is like 40,000.
It's now Rate Field, and the
opened
capacity is 40,615.
Am I not? I mean, I was within 615.
Man, if we
Brian.
were playing a
Give
game
that
show
to me.
today, you
Give that to
just
me, bitch.
knocked it out of the park.
It opened in 91.
But yeah, it opened
You're
up
the only person that's knocked it out of that park this year.
I said the 90s and it was 91,
Yeah,
and I said
exactly.
40,000 and it's 40,651. So I do know my stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
And the fact that, but in today's world, especially in a market that's got two teams, and especially in a market where listen, I'm not trying to be a dick, but that's a Cubs market. I mean, it's you're ostracized when you say you're a White Sox fan. It's just, the Cubs are the media darlings, and even though the White Sox most recently, I think the Cubs have won a championship since then, but the White Sox won one before them, like 5 or 6 years before them. You remember that it was, what was it, maybe 2000 and...
Well, Seth will probably be able to tell us.
05.
Yeah, 05. 2005. Now, it took Joe Madden to go up into Chicago and finally get one for the Cubs, but they had 11-year drought. So realistically, the more successful franchise in the last 100 years has been Chicago White Sox. And so, but they kind of are the redheaded stepchild of the city. They built a stadium back in that 90s mentality where you needed to be 35 to 40 grand, whereas now baseball stadiums are like 30 to 34. That's where they're putting them. And I don't know if Tampa ever gets a stadium or if, what happens to the Rays. But if they do end up building one, I would highly recommend that it not be any more than 30,000.
Oh, I think this season has shown them that 25 is probably going to be the number for them.
I think 25 to like 28 could be the magic number for them.
Maybe, because they're probably going to make as much off of ticket sales this year as they have any season that they've ever played games, because they're getting full value for the tickets.
Right.
It's only
right.
10,000.
They're not doing, they're not doing $8 Sundays.
No, or how about the entire season for $99?
Right.
If there's tickets left, you get a ticket.
And one of the reasons, you have to admit, one of the reasons is just geographically, it's way more desirable for a guy like Brian, Brian, or a guy like Tom Bean. Tom Bean, I think you, Tom, Steve, and the launch, I think you guys went in on a package.
Yeah, I have a quarter season.
Right.
And,
you guys
it's been great.
Yeah, you guys went in on a package, and people that live in, the more affluent areas of this area live closer to George Steinbrenner Field than Tom Bean, who lives up in Lutz, and you live in
West Chase.
In West Chase. You will not cross that bridge and will not drive to South St. Pete to watch a game. You will not.
We went to the game last night. We stayed to the 5th or 6th and got home in like 20 minutes compared to an hour.
Yeah. That bridge, the bridge, the three bridges that tie Tampa to St. Pete Clearwater, basically tying Hillsborough County, which is the county that Tampa's in, to Pinellas County, which is the county that St. Pete's in. That bridge is like repellent. If you live in Hillsborough, you very rarely cross that bridge unless it's something that you absolutely...
It's like the Berlin Wall.
It really is.
Yeah.
And so,
keeps us away from the commies in St. Pete.
If Stu Stuenberg decides to stay, which in my opinion, there's no way, shape, or form that the league's going to let him leave. They're just not.
No.
They're not going to
let him take another market where they could have a viable team. It's not going to happen.
Because I think an expansion fee now is $1 billion.
Two.
All right.
Plus.
So if you allow Tampa to move to Nashville, you're taking a team that would be probably your next expansion city, and you're taking $2 billion right out of your pocket.
Yep.
That's what you're doing. And
it already happened with the Oakland A's, and it's not going to happen with the Rays.
And here's the deal. The Rays aren't broke. Meaning they're not broken. They're not a broken franchise. They have great infrastructure. They have a great farm system. They just have a horrible stadium that's geographically put in a horrible spot. You need to put it either, I'd build one right across the street from where they're playing now, or put it out by the Hard Rock. One of the two. Make it 25, 26,000. Boom. Tom Bean, Brian Matrone, other influential people are buying tickets, season tickets for that facility. Hard Rock wouldn't hurt your feelings either, would it, Brian? Out there in the fairground area,
the drive out there might be prohibitive, actually, for me coming from West Tampa.
Well, if you got three areas, you got the downtown Amalie Arena area, you got St. Pete, where they are now, you got 4 areas. You got where they are now, St. Pete. You got downtown Tampa, Amalie Arena, which I think that's just as much a traffic nightmare. If the Lightning weren't so damn good, a lot of people wouldn't. It's tough that's a tough commute. So, it's either the Hard Rock Fairgrounds, or it's literally right across the street from where they're playing right now, but you would take up some of the Bucks parking lot.
Wouldn't mind them getting rid of Al Lopez Park and putting the baseball stadium there.
Perfect.
I don't think that's ever been pitched, but that'd be great.
No, but that park sucks.
Yeah.
But can I tell you why that park sucks?
I did an AIDS walk there one time, okay? There's important things that happen in the park.
Yeah, did you catch AIDS there? Because you could.
You could have.
Oh, no.
It sucks. A lot of their listen, I went there when I was e-biking, Lummy.
Yeah.
And some of their e-bike stuff goes from pavement to gravel, and you can almost bite it.
Yeah,
you know how
off-roading.
Yeah, Al Lopez Park sucks. Nobody goes to the park. Sacrifice that in a minute, Brian. That's perfect.
I've never heard it pitched, but hey, let's do it.
So that's where they put it. So anyway, the NHRA is in Chicagoland, and they try to promote. They get, they'll even come on our show to promote, and they always use Tony as the spokesperson for every city they go into, because Tony is, if you're not the average NHRA fan and you don't know anything about NHRA drag racing, you probably have heard of Tony Stewart. You may not have heard of Antron Brown or, Brittany Force, but you probably in some way, shape, or form have been exposed to Tony Stewart. So they roll Tony out to all these different media possibilities, and they're in Chicago yesterday, and he was the guest of the Chicago White Sox. This is all documented on Tony's X account, his Tony Stewart Racing Nitrous account. And here's some various.
You have a long history when it comes to being compared and really with the White Sox. So what is it?
You know what, Seth? As big as a star Tony is, and as good of friends as I am with him, I should do more with him. Mm-hmm. I really should.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just, have him on once a month, Zoom, just catching up on how he's doing.
Oh, I thought you meant like try new things in your relationship.
No, I mean like,
go skydiving together.
I should lean more. I try not to lean on my friendships of famous people, but I think I should.
Do you think, and this is a serious question, do you think he would ever let you get behind the wheel and kind of drag race one time?
No.
Why not?
Because I couldn't fit. No, for real. Literally, I couldn't fit.
Well, could he let me do it?
No, absolutely not.
But I could fit.
Hey, Brian, let's start with him just being on Zoom once a month. Okay,
just trying to get content, baby.
Origin of this fandom that you have with the Southsiders.
Well, I mean, obviously,
Seth said, Bubba, you can whatever, but can I get? Seth's already getting a hold of Gooch to see if Tony discarded that White Sox pullover.
Yeah, that's probably $150 pullover.
And he's suffering in silence with Gooch, saying, Gooch, if there's somehow you can, if that's not going to be something that Tony continuously wears and it's a one-off, could you swipe it for us?
It's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing.
Obviously, we're in town.
Seth, how cool would that be if
I would smother my face with it. And
if Gooch cobbed that and got it to you,
that would. I mean, I don't even.
You would never wash it, right, Seth?
I would. No, like I said, I would put it on my face like a sleep mask every night.
But it would have a story behind it, because you could tell people, hey, see this? Tony Stewart wore this on Media Day, and because I know Tony Stewart's number one employee that drives his motor coach and does his apparel, he sent it. Almost, Lummy, it would almost be like Darren Kearns sending me Reggie White's pants.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can show him the picture and the video, Seth, and everything.
Well, I mean, obviously, we're in town. We're promoting the drag race that we got coming up in 2 weeks in Joliet, Illinois, just outside of Chicago here. But it's always a great option to be able to come to the ballpark and hang out with the Sox up here. So, and especially this year, to be able to throw out the first pitch is something that when they said, hey.
Three-time NASCAR champion, co-owner of Stewart Haas Racing.
And you can't see it, but just below it says Friends with Bubba the Love Sponge.
Friends with Bubba Clem. Don't Google him. That's what it says.
We're going to have this opportunity. I'm like, there is no way I'm turning that down. So excited to be here. I'm glad.
Think about this, Lummy. He had to drive all the way from Columbus, which is about a 3-hour drive to Chicago, to do this for the PR tour for NHRA.
To see the weather is clearing up. No threat of rain right now that I see on our weather. So I'm excited to be here today. Excited to be a part of it, and can't wait to watch a great game today.
It always rains in Chicago when there's a NASCAR guy in town. That's haven't you learned for the past couple summers? Tony, who was your favorite White Sox player of all time?
Oh,
Frank Thomas.
Why are they trying to make him a White Sox fan?
He is. He's a huge White Sox fan.
No, actually.
One thing I know about Tony Stewart.
Actually, when you grow up in Columbus, Indiana, you're one of two things. You're either a Reds fan or a Cardinals fan. Most people, because they're only an hour from Cincinnati, most people from where he grew up are Cincinnati Reds fans. But let's see what his answer is.
Bubba, do you think he was offended when they called him a NASCAR guy when they go anytime a NASCAR guy's in town, but he's really a funny car driver now?
You should have said, I'm not a NASCAR driver anymore. You know what? I sold my entire team for $90 million. That's why I was able to afford this $200 Sox deal.
Oh, that's a good question.
He's trying to completely pull something out of his ass right now.
It's I don't know why they're doing this to him.
Yeah,
I was not a Sox fan growing up. I have to declare. I mean, you got to remember in Southern Indiana, we were always watching the Cubs, but we were always watching them lose too. So I needed to pick a different team. I should have just came across to the other side of town and
I actually like his honesty.
Yeah.
I should have came across the town and
planted my roots here instead.
But the fact that he couldn't pull Frank Thomas out says that he doesn't watch baseball at all.
Should have said Pete Rose. Should have said Pete Rose.
For White Sox?
No, it's yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, Seth, look at that! Look at that jersey you're gonna get. Look at that.
You're gonna get it,
Seth. That might be a one-off where like only
first pitch people get it.
No. Like maybe employees and players. Like this might. I mean, a lot of time. Listen, one time the Lightning was making a ball cap, and it's when I knew Jim Menino that worked down there, and it was for like people that worked for the Lightning only. And players, and I had it.
I got it too. I got it from Brian Bradley.
Okay, for real?
No, I'm joking.
And so one of my friends who was big time Lightning fan said to me, "Where'd you get that Lightning?" It was a flat billed Lightning cap. I go. He goes, "Where'd you buy that Lightning cap at?" And I go, "I didn't buy it." Ooh. He goes, "Well, I know you can't buy it because they're not available. They're only for players and people who work for the Lightning." And I go, "Yeah, well, I got it from an employee of the Lightning." And he was like, "Oh my God, I'll give you $100 for that hat right now."
Did you sell it to him?
It made me want to keep it more.
Now I'm going to retire with it.
Gonna warm up an old guy. So
What's
I don't
that guy called? Southpaw. What
Yeah,
is
Tony,
he? A gator?
Tony's
don't even worry about it.
Tony's a southpaw.
No, but what's that mascot?
His name is
Brian,
Southpaw.
you get us so down
I told
rabbit
him
holes that don't matter.
Dude.
Who cares about what the mascot's called?
That's not what
this
he's
is
called.
About Tony Stewart.
What is it?
He's a hot mess is what he is. I'll tell you what he is you know what? Look, he's like a gator that had sex with a Tweety bird. He's a, you know what?
His backstory.
You don't ever question what kind of animal a mascot is.
Yeah.
That's like rubbing a lady's stomach and congratulating her on being pregnant, and she's just fat.
Yeah.
You don't do it.
You know what? Great analogy.
Thank you.
God damn, Brian, you're on my nerves today.
It's a jaguar.
It's a jaguar.
Lummy, he is on my nerves today. Look at him and tell him to give him the stop. Damn it.
Lummy's gonna sit on my ribs like John Tenta.
I need to call your wife up, and the day before you're gonna be her and here and have her like maybe hold out on some stuff unless you promise to be good.
Warm up an old guy so I don't embarrass myself too bad. Jeez. Everything's left. Well,
see, Lummy, he's got the real VIP throw-out experience because when I've done it, they just make you stay on this little box until they call you out there. There's no warming up with the mascot. There's no jersey. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
I'm about ready to hit a left.
I mean, they're really putting Tony over here.
Batter, apparently. Every one of my pitches were.
I don't think they're close enough to his face.
I don't think they have their microphone up close enough.
Every pitch was going left. He's a NASCAR driver. He doesn't know how to go right.
We're going to throw out the first pitch, though, here.
By the way, there's
120 people there.
Poor Tony. Tony's like, I have never performed in this small of a crowd.
Wow. You can count the people.
He did it.
He got it across the plate.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. You take that every time.
The pitcher didn't have to make any sudden, crazy-ass moves.
Neither did the catcher.
And that's what I meant. The catcher didn't have to make any, ninja moves to get it.
I wish I'd have picked up the ball without having shoulder surgery a year and a half ago. So thank you, man. Appreciate it.
By the way, he did have shoulder surgery.
Good luck tonight, guys. Thank you, bud. Did not spike it. Didn't throw it over his head. Wasn't wide. Wasn't tight. Just right.
So,
that's awesome.
And
that was pretty cool.
Here's more of Seth's soon-to-be wife. I bet you Gooch gets that for you.
Man, it's creepy when we start whispering about it, but that'd be cool.
I bet you Gooch gets it for you, bud.
I mean, I don't even. Again,
Gooch loves the show, and you know what?
I know Gooch is great,
and he's a moderator.
I don't want him to have to go through.
He's a moderator, and he's a stiff moderator. He asked me yesterday, "Hey, yesterday during the show, Gooch texted me and said, "Hey, there's some screen names that looks like they just opened up like a couple days ago, and they're being dicks. They look trollish to me." I go, "Block them."
He's blocked me 3 times.
I wish he was here standing over you right now.
Nobody intimidates me. I'm Dale Earnhardt, baby.
And look how big that stadium is. I mean, that place is huge. That might be actually, hold on here. That might be one of the biggest stadiums in the league.
Well, Yankees and Dodger Stadium are pretty big. But Rate Field is probably in the top 12.
I mean,
I think Minute Maid Park's kind of a bigger one.
Look at this, Seth. He looks like he's actually. Well, hey, Lummy, they've never let me go to the dugout.
Not at all.
I never get to go to the dugout. He's in the back where the players hang out.
So Rate Field's actually pretty far down the list. It's number 20th in terms of capacity, but there's quite a bit in that 40 to 41,000 range.
Lummy, I see you got somebody on hold. Does that mean that's not Charlie?
That's correct.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Bubba. Good morning. Mike from Lithia. Not a Charlie. So, yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, I turned on the radio this morning, man, and 8:20, and I got a new show. It's called the Brian Petroni Interrupt Show.
Yeah, no shit. It's called the Brian Petroni Broke Ribs. Has been out for 2 weeks. Has been cooped up.
We got great value Charlie on the phone.
He's actually showing out. He's actually showing off right now.
You know what, sir? There's other options for your entertainment.
No, there isn't, sir.
Yeah, the Bubba the Love Sponge show is my main option.
Yeah,
you may have. You know what, sir? I hate to say it, but you might have to take Thursdays off. Just I hate to deter.
No, I mean I'll push through, Bubba.
I mean, but as a Bubba fan, like he doesn't even dance with me. Like everything's just friction and adversarial. Just nothing's easy with him.
We mix it up on Thursdays, and then you got Fridays to ease on into the weekend. Thursdays are usually the toughest day of the week.
They're quietly trying to tell you to kind of back it down a notch.
And I'm quietly telling him thanks, but no thanks.
Listen, bud.
I'm not sure what to say after that. I'll self-edit. And Seth, it's good to hear you laugh, man. It's awesome.
It really is. He's crying inside, but he's laughing outside. We all are with Brian here today. Appreciate you. Lummy, today's Unsigned band review is called the Wonderlands Band.
That's right.
Originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, the now Nashville-based, is it quintet?
Yes.
What's a quintet? 5-piece?
Good. 5 people.
5 people.
Yeah.
So I hit it right.
Yeah.
The Wonderlands combines.
I'll have the quintet of chicken wings, please.
You're not even a chicken wings guy, Bubba. Even I know that.
I couldn't come up with it quickly. I tried to.
You know what? When you can't come up with something quickly, then don't come up with anything.
I'd already started talking, though.
You're double-breaded, right, Bubba?
Yeah, I'm always double-breaded.
Always double-breaded.
Look at me.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Right now.
The Bubba the Love Sponge show will be back after this.
Foreign country in the middle of the night. There's not really.
There's
not much to fucking report.
Ground Bingo, $25.
Unless, Ukraine and Russia stop, we put an end to that.
Thank you, ladies. Stay safe out there.
Oh, Lummy, I gotta go. I got PayPal to go, and they
Hierarchy, $100.
Yeah, I'm calling out the brigade right now. I said to him, I was like, look, Bubba will put up with my shit if we're getting
only so long.
But we get enough hundos in here.
That's the thing is usually you have the money to back up.
You could be getting a 1 o'clock phone call today.
Let's drop some bands, guys. Bands to make me dance. Come on.
Hey, did you hear the sound clip about the pants?
The pants?
We were talking about merchandise.
There's Bubba Army pants?
Reggie White pants.
Oh, like we're recreating them?
No, Bubba talked to Reggie White back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
About it. You heard it?
He didn't hear. I talked to Reggie White back in the day, and he validated that I have his pants. So what does that do to the value? Reggie White validated that I have his pants. So what does that? And I have a.
What game is it from?
It's from the 99. It's his hold on. It's from the 99 NFC AFC Pro Bowl, and it's his last game he ever played as a professional football player.
That's pretty cool.
And he validates that I have them. He validates that I have them. And I have a letter of authenticity from Beckett.
I mean, that probably carries the most weight is the letter of authenticity.
Yeah, but that combined with, I got them both. I got a fucking phone call and a letter of authenticity. I mean, they got to be worth 10 grand at least. I ain't selling them.
Are they signed?
Yeah, they're signed with his, and he very rarely, but he would put a Bible scripture, so it's signed and with Corinthians 1:13, and he talks about that in the phone call.
That's pretty cool. What's up, Gilson? Seth, you think those could go for 10 grand?
No, Seth doesn't.
Seth would know better than me.
I think the biggest mistake Bubba's going to make is never selling those.
Yeah. Is there any, anniversary of Reggie White coming up?
There's no spike in value because he's already in the Hall of Fame and he's already passed away.
Yeah, you missed your 2 selling points.
But I'm saying, there's not, it's where it's at. Like, if it's sentimental value, I get that, but monetarily, it's not going to go up.
Yeah.
Unless you find his world's biggest fan that wants to give you a shitload of money.
The longer that he's not with us, the rarer they are, probably.
No, the second he's no longer with us, that's as rare as it's going to get. And it's going to stay that rare for the rest of the time because he's not producing pants anymore.
Because then there's going to be, Michael Strahan pants and Myles Garrett pants and TJ Watt pants and JJ Watt
How about the panties on that fucking weather girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm fucking...
Let's get her on to do weather every morning with Bubba.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah, they paused it for you right there.
When she was doing the hair part.
Yep. She knew you were talking about it. She's like, I'm going to flirt back. Sorry, Erica, you've been replaced. Turns out you can keep your Thunderbirds.
She has to sell her car. She has to sell her house.
Just sell everything.
She has to sell everything to keep me out of jail. That's how we should spin it.
By the way, when is somebody from the Bubba Army going to go pick up the tanning bed? Come on.
What about the four
Thunderbirds? No. You haven't heard the latest on the tanning bed?
No?
Oh, boy.
We got a tanning bed update?
Yep.
Yeah, and when I talk about it, you better be nice about it because I'm in contact with ProSun. I got their CEO, and we're talking about doing some business together. So it needs to be nice.
Tanning beds are the next big thing.
Right. Sure.
The sun is out.
The sun is out.
The sun is out, man.
Oust. Tanning beds in.
I'm making the Rumble announcement, Lummy. I got to do a PayPal.
Okay.
We are jam-packed today.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito Studios. Aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Michael McGinnis from chat on YouTube, Lummy, makes a pretty good... I really don't want to read it out loud to give anybody any ideas, but he makes a pretty good observation, and I think you guys can read it. I think he's dead on.
Yeah.
My Reggie White pants are worth nothing.
Yeah, I just talked to Daniel, and he said the same thing.
Yeah,
I've actually got a guy who has Reggie's jockstrap from that game, socks and helmet, and he's looking for the pants. He's trying to recreate Reggie White's Pro Bowl outfit from his
the value of them are worth nothing, so they're worthless.
Yeah.
Even though I have audio of Reggie White claiming that indeed those are his pants, he did sign them, and he does remember signing the Bible scripture Corinthians 1:13.
And those pants actually belong to the Bubba the Love Sponge Foundation, don't even come sniffing around.
There you go.
Tax man.
I think I should just put everything I own into the Bubba the Love Sponge Foundation.
Just donate it all to charity. Take a huge write-off.
There you go. Lummy, PayPal has been active, and I've been remiss not screaming out the support for Brian the Babyface. Listen, he is very much an irritant, but he does well on the money. He does bring in the money, and at the end of the day, Lummy, that's kind of what we're about. My buddy DJ from Pro Action Suspension, 50.
Nice.
Scout and Big Gulp. Strictly, they want to make sure that I understand that this $50 is because of Babyface.
Love you, girls. Stay safe out there.
And Michael Bourne, all on the PayPal, Venmo, Cash App at the Bubba Army. So Lummy and I had a Zoom call yesterday with a couple of really important people from Rumble. And as you know, if you are watching the show now, probably the only three places to watch the show would be YouTube, Facebook, and X. And we used to, we're live on Twitter too, right? I mean, I'm sorry, on Twitch.
Yes, we are.
And so, we used to be on Rumble. And we did pretty good on Rumble. We really did. We had some decent numbers. I mean, sometimes Rumble would have more than YouTube. People like Rumble. But it just, and the back end of things in the business, and I'm being fully transparent here, but the business end of Rumble sucked. Like, I don't know if they don't pay. If they don't have as many commercials, if they don't pay as much. The numbers didn't equate how many views we had. It would be like, a third. We'd virtually have the same amount of data that we ran through YouTube, and we would make, 60% more. Lummy, Iggy McGillicuddy.
$50, Dr. Dan Dollars, the anti-cheese D.
So Dr. Dan Dollars, the anti-cheese dick. So he's saying that's for Dan.
Well, that doubles his total for the week. Good job, Dan.
So that's I hate Brian and I love Dan. So anyway, Lummy, back to so I don't get distracted here. We were like, listen, Rumble for the numbers. I mean, it just doesn't equate.
Yeah.
Like there's just not any money there. We'd have the same amount of viewership virtually as we would have on YouTube, but we'd make 3 times the money on YouTube. So we're like, listen, let's shut Rumble down live. Let's shut the live version of Rumble down and just post the show the next day. So everything that we put up on Rumble was always a day ago. They got nothing exclusively live. They didn't even get a live feed. We were trying to, and it did work. I mean, our numbers from YouTube went from like 1,100 till, we'll get up to 1,600, 1,700. So we had about a gain of about 400 maybe.
Yeah, about that.
And a couple of, X and whatever would had some increases as well. So Rumble reached out to us and was like, why'd you guys stop the live feed? And Lummy was like, well, because y'all don't, you guys are cheap. Just, you don't seem to make
no point.
I mean, it's all Trump, it's all Dan Bonagino, and by the way, the people that I'm going to mention now are very talented and deserve as much promotion as Rumble can give them. Dan Bonagino, but he has now left. Russell Brand, who else is Tim Pool does some exclusive stuff over there, but it's predominantly political. And although we get political at times, we are more of a men skewing show. Like we talked earlier about the Shiloh Sanders situation. We talked about the Rays. We've talked about the Lightning. We've talked about the Unsigned Band Review. We've talked about different men skewing topics, and not always is it sport, not always is it politics. We try to talk about a lot of different things. And so we actually got a hold of somebody very high up, two people, the head sales, the person that's in charge of sales and the person that's in charge of content. And we had a meeting with them, and I laid it all out. I was very, very, I would say borderline stiff.
You were very stiff in the beginning, yes.
And I was just like, listen, y'all like it's just a big MAGA fest over there, and we don't really necessarily fit in that box, and we get no promotion. I said I've been now doing radio or content for 40 plus years. There are a lot of people on your forum that deserve to be behind a microphone and have some very intelligent and are very good communicators. And then there are some people that have no reason to be behind a microphone and are getting all types of promotion from you guys, including front page presence that suck. Some chick that, whatever. And I'm like, and so we came to an agreement with Rumble, and I'm not going to get into the agreement we came up with, but we're going to, on Monday, Lummy, start putting the live feed back on Rumble.
Yes.
So it'll be YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, X, and Twitch. Those will be the five. Is that five? Is that five?
YouTube, Rumble, Twitch,
YouTube,
X, and Facebook.
Yeah. YouTube, Facebook, X, Rumble, and Twitch. So we're going to go give Rumble another try. They're going to try to promote us way better. They're going to make us part of the cool kids club. And that's that meaning like the people they push and, recommend and things like that. Listen, these companies, Brian, they can algorithm you, or they can ghost you.
Yep.
And
well, you just played hardball with them and won. So we should have you working on these tariffs.
Yeah,
that's right.
I think get my ID on tariffs. We can get into that.
Lummy told me he's actually working on getting Michael Buffer on to do an intro for us for Monday.
That's $1 million. Did you know that?
Oh my God!
No, for real. For real.
I think it's worth it though.
No, but for real. Like I was told that at his peak, I don't know if he's still at his peak or not, but let's get ready to rumble.
Oh God, you just have to pay him.
I didn't say it in context. I was just reiterating what his phrase was.
A news story.
I was reiterating what his phrase was, and I didn't say it in the context of a fight. I think I got a pretty good.
Doesn't his brother do it for cheaper?
Yeah, half.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Well, he's exclusive to the UFC.
Yeah. But so we're going to give Rumble another try. I think they didn't ever sell our show before.
No.
Now it's going to be part of the sales team of Rumble now has our show as an option to sell people. They have our numbers. They have our terrestrial presence. They have all of our YouTube numbers. They have our Bubba Army Radio but we have Bubba Army HQ. We have all those download numbers for them. They have our podcasting numbers. And so we're going to give Rumble another try. And really the only difference is going to be now you have Rumble as a live option starting this Monday.
Everyone prepare to rumble. That's
horrible.
Horrible.
Jennifer Henderson, Lummy. Brian is the turd that won't flush.
How much did she pay?
$20.
There you go.
Brian is the turd that won't flush. He's that floater that Lummy you double flush and then pops back up. And you thought you got him, so you just closed the toilet lid and you walked away. You didn't realize that it popped back up, and then it sat there and germinated for a day and a half until you use that toilet again, and then as soon as you walk in, you got that day and a half old Brian turd that now is, made your bathroom smell horrible. So anyway, Jennifer Henderson, I agree. He is that turd that wouldn't flush. So back on Rumble, I don't know. I'm not necessarily monitoring chat. I think that here's the thing. I think people have established where they like to watch the show, and there probably are some people that are happy about this because I think when we were really running hard on Rumble, we would be sometimes having as much, if not more, than YouTube number-wise.
Yes. So.
Like Rumble would be like 1,400. YouTube would be like 1,100. X would be like 900. And then there's a huge fall off on Facebook.
The boomers don't get up that early.
But here's the thing about Facebook. The boomers, man, they won't watch it live, but they'll watch the hell out of it during the day. Our daytime numbers for Facebook are through the roof. We'll do 3,000 or 4,000 views, by 6 o'clock by the time they've got up and,
Just because people need stuff to do while they're at work. So that's why.
I think you're right. We get a lot of work watching.
Big time.
Now, Brian, is Elway in trouble here?
I'm not familiar with this story.
John Elway. So John Elway is driving a golf cart, and him and his and I think it's a guy, Lummy, that may have represented him.
Yeah, he was like his agent and like best friend.
Yeah,
business partner.
NFL legend John Elway was right in the middle of a golf cart accident that left his longtime friend on life support, and he might have been driving. TMZ has learned. Law enforcement and other sources tell us that Elway was on the golf cart Saturday evening in La Quinta, California, when Jeff Spurbeck, John's longtime business partner and former agent, fell off the back of a moving vehicle, rolled and hit his head on the asphalt, suffering a traumatic injury.
Oof.
John and Jeff and their wives have been at the Stagecoach Music Festival earlier in the day and were leaving a post-party when the accident happened.
So he may have had a few.
Oh, I'm sure alcohol
both of them
is involved. Let me. This is the way TMZ breaks it down, which they'll have the latest. Now, Brian, if John was driving and he gunned it, and the guys on the back, I can picture it. Like you can get on the back of a golf cart, that little step there, and you're not holding on. Here it is.
But John Elway's one of his best friends died after a horrific.
All right, so now let me. It's updated. It's not on life support. He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. He died last night.
He's dead.
Golf cart accident. John was at the wheel, and I want to say very quickly. There is no evidence he did anything wrong, but there is now a police investigation.
Right, an investigation because Jeff Spurbeck passed away.
Do they do bicep curls before the shoot?
It sure looks like it.
Right?
Early this morning, 1:10 a.m. is what the listed time of death is. This accident actually happened on Saturday evening, and we told you about this, but they had been keeping Jeff on life support while they were preparing for organ donation. And then early this morning, finally that process was done, and he passed away at 1 o'clock in the morning.
We'd actually been told for 2 days that this was just a matter of time.
Right, and the family was prepared for this.
So what
now
happened?
The investigation.
Now, Harvey Levin, I think you guys all know this. He's an attorney. And, I don't know if he ever looks at things like through an attorney's eyes or not.
Oh, all the time.
But, he's an attorney.
You can't unattorney your eyes.
You should explain kind of the background here. So on last Saturday, John and Jeff, their wives.
The first thing you're thinking is lawsuit. If John's driving, they're maybe drunk. But, Brian, is there ever any instances where it's just an accident?
Yeah. Not everybody sues over. Even if he does have a lawsuit here, it doesn't mean the family is necessarily going to sue.
No, that's what I'm saying. But in a lawsuit setting, let's say that they do go to the lawsuit. Is there ever a ruling from a mediator or a judge if it goes to trial or in front of? Is there ever a ruling that it was just an accident?
Yeah.
There was no malice. There was no intent. there was negligence on both sides.
Well, what you would do in that instance is apportion the negligence to the party that you think was negligent. So if they didn't find Elway did anything wrong, it would be 0% on him. And
so they percentage it up.
Yeah.
So what if they would go 50-50?
That depends on the laws in where were they?
California.
In California.
Right.
I think it's not a. I think it's a pure comparative state. So he could recover half of whatever the verdict was. So let's say the verdict was $10 million, he'd recover his family as a state.
Now would this go
$5 million.
Would this go on? You know, John Elway probably has like a Lords of London or a Chubb personal umbrella. Would that be what this would be covered? Would that be the coverage they would go after?
Most likely, depending on the type of golf cart it is, it's unlikely that car insurance would cover it. Potentially homeowners insurance initially, and then the umbrella. But yeah, I mean, in order to have an umbrella, you have to have all those policies that connect, so you don't have any blind spots.
John's son. And John's son apparently had gone to Stagecoach to see a couple of shows, then came back to where they live, or one of them lives, and they went to a party in this private country club.
Yes, the Madison Country Club out in Palm Springs.
Then they all got in a golf cart to go to the home where they were staying. And something happened. Jeff was on the back of the golf cart standing and somehow lost his balance. And as the golf cart was moving, he careened off the golf cart and was bouncing on the asphalt and sustained catastrophic head injuries.
Right. And witnesses there say, that John was immediately on the phone, called 911. And paramedics got there, were told within about 5 minutes, and Jeff was rushed to the hospital.
Man, you really have to smash your head in order for it to almost instantaneously kill you, don't you, Brian? I mean, Brian,
he suffered a brain bleed, and it probably put a lot of pressure.
You do accidents for a living, so like. Is that the timeline of when somebody has absolutely unbelievable trauma to the head, then it creates a brain bleed, and does that kill you?
It can. The pressure on the brain. I mean, it can be irreparable brain damage. Even if they respond immediately, it could be the type.
Let me always hold your head.
Sounds like he took a lick.
Always hold your head up before you're ready to hit the ground.
Tuck and roll. That's what
tuck your chin in.
Golf.
Just wear a helmet wherever you go, Lummy. You'll be okay.
Wait, golf too?
The injuries were that traumatic. The police are now investigating.
Now, my thing is, in order to be going that fast, this is all speculative, but in order to be going that fast, that could potentially throw him off at that much of a force to cause him to hit his head that hard.
Oh, 15 miles an hour would be all it would take.
What I'm saying is, like, it wasn't just like John gunned it right out of the hole, and that would be able to cause this. They were probably hauling ass down the fairway or hauling ass down the golf cart path and made an abrupt movement here or there and flung them off, right? Because otherwise, I mean, you need a certain amount of speed and inertia to create that type of, I mean, like if you literally, Brian, if you were just right now stand up and fall over and hit your head, yes, potentially you could, if it was on the edge of the corner.
I know, I could break some ribs, I'll tell you that.
No, but like I'm just saying, just to straight that amount of like standing up, falling over and hitting your head, as long as it wasn't against a sharp object or something like that. I don't know if you could cause. I think you need inertia and speed and momentum in order to be able to cause a guy to die. I mean, almost die instantaneously.
Obviously, because there is a death that is involved. But the police were not there on the evening of the accident.
And the reason they weren't there that night is because Stagecoach was going on. There were obviously thousands and thousands of people there. And the drill was that
Man, Jeffrey Knight, Lummy, he's got some issues. John Elway's got some issues.
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp's got some issues. P. Diddy's got some issues. Everybody's got issues.
Sheriff's Department, which covers this.
Good time to be a lawyer right now, man. Everybody's needing to lawyer up and sue their best buddy.
844 Ask Gina.
Area. All of the officers were over at Stagecoach, and when a 911 call came in during the Stagecoach performances, unless it was an apparent crime, they didn't respond. Right. They might have responded otherwise, but they didn't hear. So that's kind of why the paramedics came.
See, I mean, I can understand you're a police officer and you're at Stagecoach and you have thousands upon thousands of people attending. That keeping them under control and stuff like that is probably your number one priority. And it probably comes over the radio as a golf cart accident. They don't know, Brian, the severity of it.
It could just have come over as a fall. I mean, we really don't know.
We have a golf cart accident,
but it's one car, it's one vehicle. They're not. It's not like I could see how that could happen.
Yeah.
The thing is now,
they didn't know the severity of it. They said, hey, it was John Elway. He flung off his guy into the side of a tree, and the guy's brain's bleeding right now. He's going to die.
At this point, unless they have multiple witnesses saying that Elway drove erratically or some sort of security cam footage. You can't get him for DUI because you can't prove that he was intoxicated at the time.
Oh, yeah, because the cops didn't show up.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's out the window. So now you can get him for like...
So now the alcohol aspect's out.
Yeah.
So now it's reckless driving unless they got some type of surveillance. It's John and his wife's word against this guy's wife, right?
Yeah, if she even saw it, she may have been, not able to speak to what he was doing on the back when he fell off. She may have been looking forward.
So now they're going to have to do an accident reenactment deal, right? Where you hire experts to come in and like a splatter expert. Don't you have driving reenactment?
I mean, you
experts?
can. It's a lot harder when you don't have any physical. The only physical data would be this guy hitting the asphalt. You have no other physical data to go off of.
You would be able to show, okay, the golf cart's headed in this direction, and his first impact off the golf cart was here. So in order to be able to fly off the golf cart that far, one needed to be traveling X miles an hour. You could probably come rough that in with an expert.
You're not going to get him for speeding, though. I mean, it's just that's the thing. I don't see what he could be charged with at this point unless witnesses said he was driving completely erratically and carelessly and recklessly, and that's what caused the guy to fall. It may just have been the guy was a little tipsy. Elway had to gun it up a hill.
He didn't have a good grip on
and
it.
He fell backwards and smashed his head, did a flip over somersault thing, smashed his head again, and then came to rest.
And oftentimes, I'm sure you've seen, sometimes the police accompany, they didn't hear.
Right. So the Sheriff's Department was not there, but we're told they're now in the process of gathering information that they did not get that evening, talking that they will speak to the witnesses. And we should say, aside from Jeff and John's family, the 5 people who were there on the golf cart, there was this big party not far from where the accident happened.
Right.
And there were people in the neighborhood who did witness this, so I'm sure.
Now, Brian, you do have pictures of them toasting and drinking, right? I mean, that could potentially hurt John, could it not? I mean, they're showing pictures.
If he was to lie, I didn't have anything to drink that night. But if he says, I had a couple drinks over the course of 7 hours, you're not going to be able to prove intoxication.
Police will be talking to them as well.
I think you have to wonder, Charles, what the investigation looks like now. But obviously, the police are at a disadvantage here because, and I'm not suggesting that John Elway did anything wrong here, but if they were at the scene,
but they cannot.
They're very limited in what they can prove now. From a criminal perspective.
Had they been there in a timely fashion, they could have done a DUI deal. They could have maybe tested him for alcohol, but at this point, all that's not in play.
And if there was anything that they had questions about, they obviously could have addressed it then. If they wanted to take his blood alcohol level, they could have done those things. Obviously now, days have passed, and that's not an option anymore.
That's off the table.
From what we have heard, the one reason why the police would want to get information here is that if there was going to be
Here's the thing, man. I attribute probably my relationship with Larry Plummer to the relationship potentially that John Elway had with this guy. It was his best friend. It was his former agent. It was his current business partner. And if Larry was driving a golf cart and I was on the back and I flung off and hit my head, regardless if it was Larry's fault or not, my family wouldn't sue. My family wouldn't, no way are we going to put Larry through that when him and Bubba have a history of acting like clowns. No way. And vice versa. If I was driving and Larry fell off.
Yeah, but if you
there's
had
no way his
a
family
$10 million policy, you wouldn't want his family to get it? I mean, it doesn't hurt you.
Oh, if that's the case.
Yeah.
No. If that's the case, yeah. I'd tell Mary Lou, sue the hell out of me because I got an insurance policy. They're going to drop me afterwards, but get what you can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I'll testify that I was driving erratically. Right? I mean, they can't put me in jail.
Well, as long as you're not going to get charged criminally for that, yeah.
I'd have you and everybody else telling me what to say.
Be a legal situation going forward.
But if both families didn't have these big insurance policies and it was just, normal people, I wouldn't. It's an accident. It's an accident. And stuff like this sometimes happens.
A lot of people don't know this, but the Broncos logo is designed after John Elway and his teeth.
Lawyers would want to look at police reports.
What a dick.
I always thought it was that.
That's why you don't give Elway sugar cubes
Mike,
before
correct
he
me
drives
if
a
I'm wrong,
golf
but
cart.
from what we have heard from people involved here, this isn't a situation where the family...
Yeah, Grouper Lips is like, Jesus, Brian, come on.
No,
You're
he's calling me like Jesus. He's like,
he's saying,
Jesus, Brian.
he's
Like,
saying,
that's the order of
he's
people in this
saying
world.
You're trying too hard now. Now
I don't
you're
know,
just
I
trying
don't
to.
know. There's not a lot of context there.
Sometimes silence is better.
Yeah, that's
Sit
great
back,
for the air.
Sit back and let the two professionals from TMZ wade through this tragedy. Might be better than saying you can't give John Elway sugar cubes before he goes and drives.
I don't know, man. I got that. Chad is mixed on this. You picked two of the negative ones,
Please.
but
are upset that Jeff's family is not upset with John.
No.
They are very dear friends and have been for decades.
Right. I mean, John was almost like a second father to Jeff's kids. That's how much they were in each other's lives. And I've talked to people, and they're not blaming John Elway at all here, Charles. They know, they say John is absolutely devastated over this, and they've got a lot of love for him. No animosity at all.
Yeah, and as for what you said about the police, a lot of times the police aren't going to do an investigation just in case there's a civil lawsuit. They don't get involved in that. In fact, you often hear where a police officer might come out and say this is a civil matter, and they don't even take a report. Mm-hmm. So it's not clear exactly why they have launched an investigation. They're saying it's not a criminal investigation, but that's generally the only kind of investigation the law enforcement does.
They have to investigate
I don't know what
this.
that
I don't
would
know
be.
what he's confused about. This is a homicide investigation. A guy died of unnatural causes as a result of what could be criminal. They have to just rule it out. I mean, it would be absurd of them not to investigate.
They have to at least check the box.
They have to at least check the box. We interviewed the witnesses. This is what we found.
Right.
There's no probable cause to charge with any sort of crime.
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah. Case
Good,
closed.
thanks, Fash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fish.
Maybe they just want to check to see, that they're possible, reckless driving. I have no idea. But they have
point being that if they're looking,
but here again, the guy who died's family have already postured like, listen, we're not upset with John at all. So like even a reckless driving deal, that doesn't even really matter at this point.
they want to make sure that there wasn't some criminal.
That's right. I think that's what's going on.
Hi, this is Brandy Blanton from New Carlisle, Ohio, and I just think this whole thing is just tragic. I mean, you're supposed to be with friends, having, a fun weekend, and then this horrible accident happened.
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Thank
Filler.
you. Thank you, Rhonda Obvious.
Jesus.
Appreciate it.
Her face looks like she got stung by 10 bees.
When we return,
looks like
Lummy,
Macaulay Culkin from My Girl.
Steve's Lava Chicken. Are you guys familiar with it?
No.
I am now.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Steve's Lava Chicken has become the shortest song ever to enter the Billboard Hot 100. It's 51 seconds long. Who's it? It looks like Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
It's Jack Black.
Oh, Jack Black. And it's
from the Minecraft movie, I think.
Is it from the? That even makes it worse.
Yeah.
We'll get to that next. Hold on.
Want to listen to the show on demand and on the go? Enlist today at BubbaArmyHQ.com. Sign up and start listening. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
Michael Rucker, $25. Coming. Me too, Snizzer. That's our spawn gone. Thank you, Michael Rucker.
What are we at? 3. We're not that far behind. We're 15 minutes.
What's up, Mr. Mark? How's it going? Sure is, Dave Rock. Thank you, Hierarchy 65. Thank you.
Hey, Lummy?
Yes, sir.
In the Tampa Bay Times, there's an article that says boater in Clearwater ferry crash did not commit hit and run, attorneys say. Can you get that for me?
Yes. Do you want me to find if I can get it? Because Tempe Times sometimes...
If you can find it somewhere else,
Yeah.
just say... Yeah, try to find it because Tampa Bay Times will lock you up with the fucking...
Yeah.
With the EPO.
I do have a fat face. Fat shovel face fucker.
A shovel face can't be fat.
No, they can be fat. They're just smushed and fat. Like a smash burger. Smash you right in the teeth.
I sent it to you, Bella.
I want to apologize to Harvey Levin for interrupting his segment on the show.
What about his friend that comes to Thanksgiving dinner every year?
Token?
What?
Token? Apologize to Token, too. How we doing, everybody? What song should we sing next segment?
From the window to the wall.
The sweat dropped down my balls. So
Yeah.
all these bitches crawl.
Skeet, skeet,
It's all
skeet.
skeet, 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 skeet,
Skeet,
motherfuckers.
skeet, skeet.
It's all skeet, skeet. Goddamn, goddamn.
Skeet, skeet, skeet.
It's all skeet, 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 motherfucker. It's all skeet, skeet, skeet. Goddamn.
Party at Lummy's this week.
Oh yeah, the big party.
Yeah.
Hey Bubba, it's the Channel 10 weather babe. Big fan of the show. I actually listen off set when I'm prepping with no panties. Cause of course, it's No Panties Thursday. See you after 10, big boy.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
That was great. Wow, Macho Man. Macho Man. Unbelievable. More of that, man. Macho, thank you. Oh, yeah, no problem. Don't forget also, I bought some new sunglasses yesterday, or should I say you did, because I'm getting ready for the Macho Minute. It's going to be exclusively on our various platforms. It's where I take a body part and I show you how I train. Dig it! That was pretty good, was it not?
It sure was.
Pretty good. But clip that. Send it. Send it to Macho so he knows how much we love him.
Don't you be telling people what to do around here, you okay? You hear me?
I'm clipping it for him.
Lummy, this is supposedly Jack Black, and I think it's from the Minecraft movie. And supposedly now it is cracked the top 100 chart, Billboard pop charts.
Is it getting radio play?
I don't know. I
mean, it's got to.
Or is it just getting like internet digital play, and they track that too?
I believe they track it all, but there's got it.
I mean, like, is 93.3 FLZ playing this?
Bless you, let me. Not that
Steve's Lava Chicken.
It's not even Bubba. I don't even know what they count as the song. To me, the actual singing, I believe, is only 20 seconds.
It debuted at number 78 because it became a viral hit on TikTok.
Wonder what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken? I did, and you're about to find out.
Yeah, like this can't be considered a song. Now, maybe when they start singing, and like Seth said, there might only be like 20-some seconds of actual singing.
You hear
Scout
that?
Bingo 25, Joe Ma $20.
It's the sound of sizzling. Smell that smell. La 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 lava. Chicken. Steve's lava chicken, yeah, it's tasty as hell. Ooh, mamacita, now you're ringing the bell. Crispy and juicy, now you're having a stack. Ooh, super spicy, it's a lava attack.
See, that could be the only part of the song.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the song.
Let me see where it starts at.
It's still the shortest one ever.
Is KFC going to start selling Steve's Lava Chicken?
You hear that?
Square pieces of meat.
It's right here. This is where it starts at 16 seconds. And let me reset this. My clock. It'll tell me exactly how long.
She's from Peacemaker.
Is she?
At Great John Cena show, yeah.
She was also in Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, that was where she got her original break that I can remember.
Here we go.
You hear that? That's the sound of sizzling. Smell that smell. La 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 lava. Chicken. Steve's lava chicken, yeah, it's tasty as hell. Ooh, mamacita, now you're ringing the bell. Crispy and juicy, now you're having a stack. Ooh, super spicy, it's a lava attack.
It's 25 seconds.
I have a small business too. The one thing I try to do is not have my jingles suck butt.
You ever wonder what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken?
Alrighty, well, there's that.
Jason Momoa is stiff.
Yeah. Jason Momoa is stiff. It's like Bubba after I try to do something funny on the show.
Yeah.
Stiff.
Well, I mean, there's some people that have to be realists around here and know the business a little bit better than you do, and have to kind of
Jason Momoa.
Jason, you don't think that Jason Momoa would be considered a better actor than Jack Black?
Well, I don't
know about that.
Let's do. Hold on. Let's sled through that. Who's had bigger hits? Who's made more box office money?
Jack Black. Easy.
You think Jack Black's made more box office money?
Aquaman.
Thank you. If you look at box office to box office, who do you think's got the bigger number? That's how they gauge you in Hollywood. Your box office receipts.
Yeah, I don't think Jack's there. School of Rock didn't maybe carry it for him.
Aquaman killed it.
Man.
Tenacious D.
I mean, I think Aquaman alone might be. So as an actor, his worldwide box office, Jack Black.
Okay.
$5.15 billion.
So put 5.1 billion.
5.1 billion.
5.1 B's.
That's right. Not bands.
Not bands. 5.1 B's.
Jason Momoa, it's 5 B's.
Oh, snap! With the win.
I feel like Jack Black's been in about 150 more movies, though.
Yeah,
way more movies.
Jack Black certainly has the longer tenure and, would probably know the ins and outs and, probably has way more screen time.
Well, that Jack Black number I gave you was as a leading actor. If you add in his supporting roles, lead ensembles, he's over $10 billion.
All right. I'll have to take an L there.
Who
kid.
makes more out of signing at Comic-Con, Jason Momoa or Jack Black?
I don't think either one of them even bother with Comic-Con.
Oh, I think Momoa was in Game of Thrones, so he might do one every now and again. He's a big, the nerds and babes love him.
Moving on, I'll take an L. Brian, what do you think about this? Is this nonsense? And by the way, Seth said that this comes from this particular account is noted for just throwing outlandish stuff against the wall, most of it not true or doesn't work out. But can you see where Cooper would want to leave Tampa? And Seth was like, his kids play hockey. He's established. He's the longest tenured head coach in the entire league. He's ingrained in this community. He's, I don't know, the Utah Hockey Club has the infrastructure that the Lightning have.
There's a 0% chance John Cooper leaves this team. Right. 0. He's not going anywhere. First of all, wherever he goes, he's going to have to pay state tax and local tax and all those other taxes to any of the major markets that he could go to.
And secondly, where does he rank among highest paid coaches? Maybe only, I got to think that he's probably top 5.
Yeah, he's got to be up there.
And then take the state tax, factor. Take the fact that he's got kids that actually Seth said that his kids play with Vinny LeCavallier's kids in junior hockey here in town. So take that.
Yeah, Cooper's kids are actually, not a surprise, younger and playing in an older league.
Only Mike Sullivan of the Penguins earned more as of last year than Cooper. Cooper was at 5.3, second in the league. So, it's not even like they're going to throw more money at him.
Right. And don't think if they did that Lightning wouldn't say, hey, you need another 500-600? No big deal.
Yeah.
Now has Vinnick stepped away from the Lightning? I heard
he still has a smaller ownership interest, I believe. I don't think he sold his entire interest.
He did. I heard he's like at 25%.
Yeah, so he's just taking a back seat to it and enjoying the fruits of his labors, getting to watch Water Street and all of that and the Lightning. I don't blame him. It's got to be stressful to be a day-to-day owner of a sports franchise.
And he's set all the infrastructure, from your general manager to it's all set. I wouldn't say it runs itself, but you got a coach, you got a GM, both of which are proven. You've won what under his leadership 2 Stanley Cups?
Yep.
You've won 2 Stanley Cups,
3 finals.
So, yeah, and can you imagine what he sold it for compared to what he buy it for? I think it was $195 million. I think he paid for it.
Yeah,
he bought it on a fire sale from Oren Cools and that other dude, Lynn Bars or something.
Yeah, they should have never been allowed to buy the team in the first place. They didn't have the money to support it.
No, they were going paycheck to paycheck with the guys. And remember, they brought in Barry. What was the guy's name? That was
Melrose.
Yeah, they brought in Barry Melrose. That lasted 17 games. One of the reasons why he got thrown out is because his number one recommendation back to the front office was we need to send Steve Stamkos down to the minors because he was like very adamant about that, and they fired him over it. They're like, we're not sending our number one overall guy to the minors.
It looks like Vinnick is still pretty much running the operation.
Yeah, I think he put like a clause in there that he's for however many years he's in charge of day-to-day operations.
Yeah, he retains full control of the team and acts as the Lightning's governor.
Oh, still?
Yep.
Then why did he sell it off?
Money?
But
probably because
is he hard up? That divorce? That divorce got him?
Yeah, I think the divorce got him.
Ouch.
She made her retain Gina. You never know.
Oh.
You never know.
I can't. Even if I knew, I couldn't say. Even if Brian knew, he couldn't say.
No.
Client privilege. Attorney-client privilege. Work product. So speaking of attorney-client privilege, a very good friend of the show. One of our rosters of lawyers.
Yes.
We got Brian Matroni. We got Regina Hunter. We got Dan Diaco. We got Jay Diaco. And we got Kevin Hazlett. Those are our attorneys. That's our dream team. And we got all facets covered. And so one of our attorneys from our dream team pool of attorneys that appear on the air from time to time is Kevin Hazlett. Kevin is not only is he an injury guy, like Brian or whatever, but he's also.
Well, I mean, his bread and butter is the criminal.
No, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Not only can he cover your car wreck, but I'd prefer you call Brian if you could, Brian or Jay. But here's the deal: criminal wise, both Brian and Jay would tell you to call Kevin.
100%.
Like if Jeffrey Knight called up Brian on the night that this happened, Brian would say, Jeff, it's time to call Kevin Hazlett, especially, and then throw gas on the calling Kevin Hazlett in the fact that it's Pinellas County. Certain attorneys have more whip in different counties.
Well, and federal versus state. If it's a federal deal,
Todd Foster.
Todd Foster's your guy. But if it's a state local deal
in Pinellas,
especially in Pinellas, but anywhere in the Bay Area, it's Kevin Hazlett.
It's Kevin Hazlett all day.
Carlson, Meisner, Hazlett.
Yeah, the attorney for Jeffrey Knight, Kevin Hazlett, the owner of Janice Live, and the accused hit and run boater who slammed to the back of a Clearwater ferry, killing one person, injuring at least 10. Sunday night, denied that he fled the scene of the deadly crash, according to multiple reports. In a letter to investigators, the attorney addressed, now see, Brian, when you get...
Wait, he's denying he fled even though he's on video fleeing?
But they're going to explain it to
Kevin
you.
Explains
but I'm
what he
asking
did.
Brian a question here. Brian, when you got this, if you're Kevin Hazlett and you got this high profile of a case that probably came with a very large retainer on a very, very influential and very, very, very wealthy person that you're defending, are you putting and you're a partner, obviously. Are you saying, listen, I am locked on this case like a bloodhound. I need X amount of, paralegals. Are you all hands?
Oh, for sure. It's all hands on deck.
With regards to Kevin.
Oh, yeah, it's all hands. Just like if somebody crashed into a ferry, it's all hands on deck while we help everybody out to through the situation here. You're shutting it down. You're probably taking at least $100,000, maybe as much as $250,000 retainer for a case like this.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
But then again, you are absolutely
you're shutting down your practice for the next 3 weeks easily, focusing on this only.
Well, that or you're getting your junior guys to do some of the easy, easier stuff.
But that's stuff that they could be doing. Right? Yeah, of course. But that's the team effort there.
So
all coming together.
Kevin is in war mode right now.
100%.
And Kevin's probably already handling the lawsuit from one of the employees at Janice Live that said that Jeff Knight sexually harassed her.
Oh, he could be.
Jeff Knight's had a rough go. It's been a rough 13. It's not easy being a white male being targeted by the woke mob.
In a letter to the investigators, the attorney Kevin Hazlett addressed what he called misinformation about the crash and pushed back on reports that Knight, 62, quickly left the crash. Quote from Kevin: immediately after the accident, Mr. Knight directed a passenger to his vessel to call 911. And that passenger remained on the line with 911 for 12 minutes. Mr. Knight tied his vessel to the ferry in order to stabilize it and render aid. He used his boat to maneuver the ferry closer to shore so that first responders would have an easier access to the passengers.
Damn, he's almost like a hero.
Yeah.
The letter reads, according to Fox 13. The letter goes on to say that Mr. Knight told the captain of the ferry boat that he was able to transport injured individuals by water to Morton Platte Hospital. This offer was declined. Now, Morton Platte Hospital is literally right off the Bel Air boat deck. It's literally, you could walk there. The Bel Air boat deck, Lummy, is probably from here to maybe 7-Eleven from the parking lot of Morton Platte.
Wait, the Bel Air?
Yeah. Or that little dock back where Hogan,
This
in that
Clearwater
area.
Causeway, wasn't this?
Yeah, it was Clearwater Causeway. Bel Air's a decent little hike back.
Okay, well, I mean, there's a boat ramp by Morton Plant.
Yes, yeah. That would
It may not be the
north.
Bel Air boatway, but there's a boat ramp right by literally that dead ends right into the water at Morton Plant.
Yeah, you're correct on that, yes.
The letter goes on to say that Knight told the captain on the ferry boat that he was able to transport injured individuals by water to Morton Plant. The offer was declined. The captain of the pirate cruise was among the first to spot the deadly Clearwater ferry crash and called it into the authorities. We're doing an activity with these kids and all the people. Andrew Triglio, first mate for the captain's memo pirate cruise, told Channel 10, which, by the way, Lemmy, the weather girl on Channel 10, is observing No Panties Thursday, and she listens to the show.
Yes, she does.
I'd like to hear that again if you could fire it for me.
Gets me half
Macho Man. Yeah,
Just
I mean, this is
thinking
a very sad. Anytime I see WTSP Channel 10, I'd like to hit that. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. There's been a boat collision. The Clearwater Ferry underneath the Clearwater Memorial Causeway. The Clearwater Ferry is adrift, according to Mayday transmissions audio made after the crash released by the Coast Guard.
I gotta say though, this should be a commercial for whatever boat
Hey,
that
Bubba.
Jeffrey Knight
It's
was
the Channel
driving.
10 weather babe. Big fan of the show. I actually listen off set when I'm prepping with no panties. Because, of course, it's No Panties Thursday. See you after 10, big boy.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
This should be a commercial for who? You said
the boat manufacturer for whatever boat Jeffrey Knight was driving, because that thing was still seaworthy after it literally.
Oh, I mean, you and I could take it out this weekend if we wanted to.
Yeah, that thing's ready to go. No maintenance needed.
No, I mean, maybe scrape off a few barnacles here, maybe a little couple blood stains.
I think they got the barnacles off on the back of the ferry.
I think the barnacles ended up on a guy's face.
Jesus.
I think those barnacles are tough, man.
Yeah, they are. You barnacle bills, man.
With thought, we thought it was a passenger helping them, like another boat, because we didn't see who hit them. It may have been that boat and then knocked the ferry into the sandbar and then took off. A spokesperson for the FWC, Florida Wildlife Commission?
Yeah.
Said
Fish and Wildlife Commission, but yeah.
Let me, those guys
have authority.
You don't
over a lot of
realize, man,
people.
did you know that those are actually the most powerful lawmen in the entire state? They have no jurisdiction. Like if you're in Pinellas County, Lummy, a Tampa cop, I guess if you're doing something, like if it was a really bad felony but like if you're speeding on 19, a Tampa cop can't pull you over. You're not in his jurisdiction. They recognize jurisdiction lines, but FWC, their jurisdiction is the entire state and then 9 miles into the ocean. That's their jurisdiction. A spokesperson for the FWC said during a Monday afternoon news conference before Knight was publicly identified that the operator of the boat willfully provided a breath alcohol sample which showed no signs of alcohol. Whew, Brian, that is a huge hurdle.
Yeah, if they did a blood test though, because there was a death, then there may be some substances. Cocaine, gasolina. I'm a total speculation, but based upon the fact that the guy who died on his boat in 2012 had copious amounts of cocaine in his system, that contributed to his drowning death.
If they didn't do a blood draw that night, then it's no longer in play.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
You have to do a blood draw within that time frame of the accident, or it's not in play. You can't come to him the next day after he's went to bed, and you can't come to him the next day and say, "Oh, by the way, we want to do a blood draw about last night's accident."
Yeah.
Correct.
Like
I think the guy still has to be, basically,
you have to have him on the scene. I mean, he could have been like, I was so shaken up, I went into my house and did 4 lines of coke.
Right.
And
listen, hold on, Ron Diaz. I
to
think,
steady me out.
I think that Ron Diaz would not be mad if I told this story. The infamous Ron Diaz from the Ron and Ron show here in Tampa. Very legendary show. Probably their show and my show are the 2 greatest shows ever to come out of here.
Mason Dixon has entered the chat.
Please.
Joking.
Please. Tookie. So one time he was drunk as hell.
I thought that was Steve Dumick.
Well, it might have been Steve too.
He parked in his driveway, got out and chugged a beer.
So
let me just ruin the story.
Yeah, Ron Diaz was drunk, and he was about a block away from home. And there was a cop running radar. Ron was drunk. He was drunk. He was a block away from home. By the time the cop got his car turned back around, Ron was already in his driveway, hit the garage door, hit it, pulled the car in, hit the garage door going down. Well, he's literally got the cop banging on his door. Ron opens the door holding a beer, an empty one that he had just chugged. And he got away with it because they could not prove that beer was consumed prior,
Yeah, that is blood alcohol, that he was intoxicated. Well, plus the cop probably didn't get him. He probably just got him for speeding. And so, I don't even know if Ron didn't answer the door, if the cop could do anything about it, because there's not a crime. He's not investigating a crime at that point. He's just investigating a civil traffic infraction.
The driver, Jeffrey Knight, voluntarily took a breathalyzer that registered .000, said the FWC spokesperson. There have been no arrests or charges filed in this crash. The family of the man killed in the fiery crash, Jose Castro, age 41, a U.S. postal worker from Palm Harbor, is demanding justice following the fatal accident. They said that they don't understand why Knight wasn't arrested.
Because he's rich.
I want this guy to pay for what he did and what we're going through right now, said Castro's sister, Sandy Todd.
Two words, Kevin Hazlett.
Yeah.
That's why he's not in jail.
She said that they immigrated to the U.S. from Peru about 20 years ago. She described her brother as a family man who was dedicated to his two daughters, Ivory and Jolene. He also leaves behind their mother, 27-year-old Jenny Hernandez. While the youngest daughter doesn't understand what happened to the father, the oldest is upset. She is crying for her dad. She's in shock. She couldn't believe that there was an accident and that he was the only one that didn't survive. The article, Boater's attorney denies he fled. Okay, that was just the clickbait, right, Lemmy? Yes. So Kevin Hazlett's already got him. I would say Brian already posturing the way you would probably need to posture this.
He's like, we got to get this guy the key to the city. He was a hero. He helped save lives that day.
He was willing to transport people to 911. All within that 10 seconds of him hitting them and running away.
It'd be interesting. I wonder if I could call Kevin tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
and maybe get a scoop on the deal. Like, is he looking at was the ferry didn't have the proper lighting in the back? Did the ferry? At this point, Brian, you're probably trying to prove, the ferry wasn't correctly lit.
Yeah, I don't know how. The video of that is shocking. It looks intentional. It almost looks like he was trying to jump the ship. Like, we go Evel Knievel style on this. And it's pretty crazy that he just, first of all, I don't think he was supposed to be going that fast through that area.
Well, probably what he did was what people do that like the speed. He probably went through the slow wake zone right after the piling and just gassed it. And it takes a little bit of time to get your front hull to level out. So he probably gunned it.
Couldn't see him.
And he couldn't see him.
Right, couldn't see him. But it looked like when we looked at the video, it looked like the front end already had calmed down and it started to plane. They call that on plane. It felt like it looked like it was starting to get on plane, but that could have been too late.
Yeah, it might have been right at the last second.
Right. So, listen, my prediction: this guy doesn't do a day in jail.
That's a real shame.
Now, Brian, there'll be civil lawsuits. You can see the family's already freaked out. So
why?
But listen. How many people? Listen, this is the new thing. Don't worry about the crim. I'll get you on the civ. There's a huge civil deal coming here.
Well, yeah, but he's probably pretty well insured. So he'll probably be covered, and
he'll be okay.
He's going to be okay.
And Janice Live still going to have Blink 182 down there.
He stepped away from Janice, whatever that means. I just want to say,
I did see that
because I am a St. Pete guy, and I know this is getting kind of the waters are getting muddied a little bit because Kevin Hazlett's such a huge fan of the show, or such a friend of the show. But Jeff Knight needs to go to jail. He's a scumbag. I just wanted to say that.
Well, this is his third boat related accident death. I mean, that 3 strikes you're out, in my opinion, even if you're innocent in all 3.
He's had a couple driving drunks that Kevin got taken down to whatever the next one is from driving. So he said, and now again he's got one of his employees at Janice has him for sexual harassment right now. So the guy needs to pay or just leave St. Pete forever.
In a message from Janice Live, which is a music venue that he owns and has owned for years, and it's a neat little venue to watch. It's what, Seth, would you say maybe 1,000?
A little more. Honestly, it's one of the best venues in the country.
He saved it too. Janice Landing was going out of business,
right?
And he
did
transformed it.
And like Seth said, man, it is a really, really unique, intimate. It's really unique.
It is.
And it's like a courtyard with a stage.
Surrounded by houses, or surrounded by apartments and condos.
Apartments and restaurants and all kinds of different things. It's called Janice Live. It's basically a city block with that in the middle has a courtyard with a really nice, very high production value stage. And there's been some very big acts play Janice Live. I mean, they'll either get them on the way up or listen.
I saw Chameleon there once.
I mean,
I was at VIP that night.
Woo. So a message
Good
from
weed.
a message from the Janice Live family. We want to extend our heartfelt condolences to everyone affected by Sunday night's tragic Clearwater ferry accident. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families and all those impacted during this incredibly difficult time. We also want to express our trust in this community, in its ability to come together with compassion and patience as the facts surrounding this heartbreaking incident continue to emerge. We ask the judgment be reserved while the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and the United States Coast Guard conduct their thorough investigation into what occurred that night. We deeply are grateful for the many expressions of support we've received from friends, family, and members of our extended Janice Live community. Your kindness means more than words can say. Sincerely, appreciation, the Janice Live family.
I sent you an article because Kevin wrote a letter. It explains that he stayed there. Why
did
he
it give
left.
a little bit more information timeline-wise?
Yeah, why he left the scene, and then also he was saying that the poor lighting led to reduced awareness.
So this is probably...
if you scroll down, it has you'll see bullet points why he left the scene.
Okay, why Jeff Knight left the scene. Knight remained... Okay, so this is probably, Brian, them taking Kevin's letter and kind of maybe breaking it down
up a little bit, yeah.
Giving us a little more information than just leaving it, kind of more vaguely, his attorney sent a letter. Why Knight left the scene. Knight remained on the scene until he noticed that his boat was taking on a large amount of water and left out of fear that his vessel was about to sink with an 8-week-old infant on board. Several witnesses aboard Mr. Knight's vessel indicated that the frantic mother of an infant pleaded for immediate transport following the crash because she was concerned that her 8-week-old child had suffered injuries, Kevin Hazlett wrote. However, given the circumstances, including vessel draft, and by the way, Brian, Kevin is a water guy. He's an avid guy. I mean, out of all my attorneys, he spends the most time on the water, fishing and stuff like that. So Kevin knows about vessel draft and water depth. And
I took my 8-week-old on a roller coaster at Busch Gardens.
It's a good idea.
And
cigarette boats are where 8-week-olds need to be.
And the compromised condition of Mr. Knight's boat. He prudently determined that returning to the dock as quickly as possible was the best course of action. According to the attorney, Knight left after Clearwater police were in the water and ambulances arrived. First responders also stopped the captain's boat to inspect it and tow it to Bel Air boat ramp, where first responders assessed the baby's condition. Mentioning a video of the collision, Hazlett wrote that you can clearly see that Mr. Knight was still on the scene after police arrived and the EMS vehicles had arrived. Knight's attorney pointed out that the two crew members of the nearby pirate ship independently corroborated his account, saying that they saw him assist the ferry victims until first responders responded. Is this Jeff Knight getting escorted off the deck?
Yeah, it's just kind of B-roll from FLA.
How did he get the 8-week-old help and leave? But he stayed to help. I don't know what.
Did he come back?
Did he drop?
Or did he stay on the ferry and send his boat back while he was not driving the boat? You know what I'm saying?
But if he was taking on water, I mean, wouldn't he be taking on water the whole time?
Let me see here.
Turns out it was a spilled Zephyr Hills bottled water that was.
Is that Jeff in the blue?
Yeah.
What's he got, like some catcher or shin guards?
I don't know. He has some sort of right leg injury or issue going on, it appears.
Yeah. That was from last week's boat crash.
Yeah,
there you go.
We know. And then if you scroll down a little more, it just tells. Oh, okay. The poorly light.
I mean, you have it. You have it. You give me what it shows. I'll go into words and we'll get into the Belichick stuff.
That Hazen said that the navigational lights at the time of the accident were not up to code, and they were credible concern, which made it hard for Jeff Knight, to see. So
Brian, here's the deal, man. If indeed the lights were faulty and they were either too dim or not even on, that might completely change this whole thing. If the back marker lights on the ferry were not on or not visible, that could completely exonerate Knight 100%, could it not?
I mean, it could. It could. This could be a freak accident, or this could be the case of a guy with an 8-week-old on a boat speeding under a bridge and not paying attention and crashing into a ferry, which is what I think it appears to be.
I remember what you were saying, that you thought maybe like a flare, that bright light.
Yeah.
So what it was it was a spotlight that they were showing because they were watching dolphins in the channel.
Oh, okay. So they were spotlighting the water
for the dolphins
to get dolphins, not spotlighting the boat that's going 48 miles an hour behind you, about ready to hit you.
Correct.
But that spotlight was hard for his client to see.
Well, it was directed towards.
It was
the channel,
the spotlight was pointed completely opposite direction. The spotlight was pointed toward the front part of the boat, not the back part.
Mm.
So it's going to get interesting. I mean, does this go? I don't know that there's ever even a criminal case filed on this.
We'll see.
I mean, that's probably Kevin's first concern.
Oh, 100% his only concern. He can't control the civil side of things. And Jeff's insured to the gills, I'm sure. All of his businesses are probably held closely in LLCs and not pierceable. So it's going to be whatever his personal worth is and whatever his personal coverage is, and that's what they're going to be limited to.
And Kevin's number one concern is no arrest, no criminal. You can civil up all you want, and Kevin will handle the civil as well. But first concern is let's make this a bona fide accident and keep Jeff out of jail. That's what he got the $250,000 retainer for.
Complete speculation. I've heard instances where retainers can be that much.
Wouldn't that be cool? And retainers aren't returnable, are they?
Well, you have to have earned a substantial portion of it. I would say that if he paid him $250 and Kevin got it so that he never gets charged, there's no refund owed.
Right, and in fact, you need to re-up. We need another 50. I mean, as this thing starts, trucking down the legal system. It's certainly going to it's certainly going to get more adversarial before it gets better. Right? It's only just begun. It's not over. It's just begun.
I'm just having a difficult time getting over the fact that somebody would take an 8-week-old out onto a speedboat. Like, what is that?
I don't know either, but
like, seriously, talk about who should be charged.
I don't think life vests even fit on 8-week.
No. I mean, they probably float pretty well, but still.
Listen here, if you got an 8-week-old baby, and your friend's got a boat, and it's one of those grandpa pontoon boats, and you're going to putt around and just look at manatees and dolphins and things like that, and it's not a 39-foot open fish with 2 Mercury 400s on the back.
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
With 3 Mercury 400s on the back, Brian, and you're literally going to go 5 miles an hour, and you're not going to be going, in no wake zones and having the boat get up on plane and things like that. I could potentially see you taking your 8-week-old out on a sightseeing. We're putting around. This boat has a Evinrude 35 on it, Lummy. Like it won't even go 12. I can see that.
And Dark Match Steve's right. Diapers float, so the baby was totally safe.
If you liked that segment, then you'll definitely like the new redesigned BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
Instead of waking up. I mean, what the fuck are you thinking? Mom of the year there. Kudos to her. She's the only one who's going to catch a charge.
Oh, man.
Child endangerment.
Oh, Lord. I hope he leaves St. Pete. I hope he's just done with the embarrassment.
This is his 3rd death on the water. This guy's Teflon. He got fucking Kevin Hazlett, dude, got him out of 2 DUIs.
Yeah, the DUI went to reckless driving.
Yeah, he's a fucking stud, man.
Well, I guess I learned from Kevin Hazlett's letter that.
Well, this guy says we're such libs that they do make life jackets for 8-week-olds.
Yeah, no, I think
they could make little lifeboats for 8-week-olds. I still think it's a questionable decision to take them out on a high-speed boat at night into the water.
No, it's totally normal because really, what's the worst thing that can happen? Run into the back of a ferry and
like that's gonna happen,
and the baby's okay. I mean, like it's really been tested here that it's totally okay.
Kid tested, mother approved.
I think that we should let 7-day-olds start fucking driving, to be honest with you.
I mean, just car seats are...
Lummy, Hootie and Bischoff on Fox and Friends this morning. Go look for it.
Yes, sir.
Lummy's not here, dude.
What did you say? What do you need, Bubba? I can look for it.
Kitten Lockerby's a cutie.
Did you want that?
Oh, he talks about
Lummy.
Did you want it? The Fox and Friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hootie and Bischoff on Fox and
She's not
Friends.
hot, but she's
Do you want
cute.
the stuff on his new wrestling?
Well, whatever. I guess they got a new podcast or something. Colleen Campbell.
They have a new wrestling
Federation
they're starting.
Like
and also he has he opened a Hogan Beach Shop karaoke in New York City.
In where?
Salty.
In Times Square.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they were doing the premiere there.
Give her some bubble noodle.
Maybe I do my documentary premiere there.
It's almost May. We there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is May.
What about May the 4th be with you?
Ooh, that's a good one. You can do a Star Wars tie-in.
It's gonna be May.
Steal the tape he didn't.
Have you seen the Justin Timberlake meme yet? It's gotta be May.
Oh, it's gotta be. It's everywhere. All 40-year-old women have to post it. It's written into law in Florida. You open up Facebook, he's everywhere. It's gonna be May. All I can do is for you. I'm not like that, baby. When you finally. You'll say it's gonna be me. Every little thing I do, never seems enough for you.
Do it again.
But I'm not like him, baby, when you finally. There's a fire. $1 million 20 years after bus crash. Wow, that's a long time to wait for the payoff.
I'd wait 20 years for $1 million.
Oof. Oh yeah, brain injury. Ouch.
I don't want to see fucking CT scans on the news.
Let me Shiloh's fucking video. 105,000.
Nice.
It was what, 77 when we hit it today?
Yes.
No, I don't think Twink has a game today. We've got the unsigned band review.
Yeah.
Twink had no inspiration.
Nah, nothing came to me. Normally it's like a lightning bolt hitting the tip of my penis, and it inspires me, but...
Do you want me to give you, like, just a bunch of ideas? And then you can just see if any of them, like, strike a chord with you?
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to feel like you have to put together a game every week.
No, I don't mind doing it. I just didn't have anything new and creative and fun.
Since there's no real, like, theme, I could give you just a ton of topics or whatever.
I was thinking about bringing my daughter's headbands game in.
What's the headbands game?
Where you don't know what picture.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta ask questions about it.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito studios, aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
PayPal, Venmo, Cash App at The Bubba Army, YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch, all at The Bubba Army visually. We'll kick back on, Rumble gets signed back on Monday, visually as well. Hopefully, Lummy, you heard it. We should be on the front page.
Yes.
That's one of the things they promised us to promote us a little bit more efficiently. So thank you. The last opportunity for you to buy the Fat Man Dunk 3s inspired by the Jordan 13 shoe is available at my website, Bubba Army Merch, Bubba Army Shop, BubbaArmyStore.com.
Can't wait till Bubba sees the tariff invoice on that one.
He's eating the cost, okay?
It's okay. First of all, just so everybody's clear,
we're losing $150 a pair on these, Brian.
You're not paying a tariff. Think of them as paying Patriot points, okay? You're a patriot and a hero when you pay these taxes because you're bringing China down.
Lummy, did you find the Fox and Friends, or did you just find this?
I just found those where I'm looking for the Fox and Friends.
Pro wrestling icon, just
what the hell?
Hulk. Just
Terry, listen.
Terry, you have more money than you could ever spend. Stop. Just stop. Retire quietly with your beautiful wife. I heard you've turned into I got pretty good insight that Hogan might be a Scientologist.
Do you know how narcissists work, Bubba? You think they just stop ever? You don't think they think that the world is theirs and that they're entitled to whatever they want?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
I think I've become less of a narcissist. I may have been
situationally. I mean, only because of circumstances. But if you were where Hogan still was in his career and life, you would be absolutely unhinged.
What is the commissioner of Real American Freestyle?
It sounds like a wrestling.
I guess they're getting ready to start a new. I thought I had the video of it, and it was the teaser video.
It's a new wrestling promotion.
Yeah, here it is, right here.
Oh no!
This was the teaser to it. And they've been running it for a few days.
Well, they announced a third guy.
I thought it was going to be a podcast, is what I thought. That's what I thought this was going to be. And they've been running this now for a while. And they announced yesterday that it's not a podcast, that it's indeed a whole nother wrestling company. You know, you have the AEW, you have TNA, you have WWE, you have there's a whole bunch of different local and regional and somewhat national federations. I don't know how many there are, but of course I would say the two titans. Well, first of all, there's the WWE. And then way, way, way down the list is the AEW. At least they got television, a major network television backing, but owned by the guy who owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. His son, Tony Khan?
Yeah, Tony Khan. Yeah, they need Travis Hunter to really start popping off in the NFL so they can get that Jaguar money down to the AEW.
Yeah, so the AEW is the next level, but it's
nothing. WWE is so big right now.
WWE is so polished. It's so big. It's so popular. It's behemoth. So then you got TNA, and you got TNA, and then
Glow.
Yeah.
Well, this is freestyle wrestling.
So
glamorous ladies.
I don't
of
know
wrestling.
where Hogan and Bischoff thinks that they can pigeonhole themselves. I don't think that the pie has very much real estate
But isn't this
left.
real wrestling?
Yeah, it's
this
freestyle.
is real wrestling.
It's freestyle wrestling.
Oh, like college and stuff?
Yeah.
The third guy is some freestyle guy.
Hold on here. Hold on. Just watch. Just watch.
Why sit you there?
Why so serious? Because you know who I am. But you don't know why he's here. This is so badass. Like, you people know who we are. You have no idea what we're about. We're back.
I showed you the second one where they announced the third guy.
Okay, that's great, Lummy, but I can play this too. This was the first one.
Yeah, I was just letting you know.
Okay, I'll play the second one later. This is about as narcissistic as you can potentially get.
Well, first of all, nobody knows who they are.
Well, Bischoff, it takes a second.
We are so back. Just so better than before. It is so good to see you again, my brother. Oh, it's been too long. I love you the most. No, I love you. No, I love you the most. You are my favorite of all favorites. But we ran so hard. We changed the world one time. But now, we're here to wake them up. We're here to slice and dice the world of wrestling. And you're not gonna know what hit you. You know we've changed the world of professional wrestling.
Yeah, you just said that.
That's a given. Anybody? It's going to rock.
Did they get real high before they hit this?
No, this is not marijuana. I mean, this is not. Don't blame weed for this.
Your world. Okay, should we tell him? Should we tell him who our third man is? Should we talk about his credentials? Should we talk about all of his championships?
Now, see, Lummy, I was thinking that it was going to be Flair and it was going to be a podcast.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking.
Should we talk about the world-class athletes that he has brought to the very top of this sport? Should we talk about that? No.
There's already a podcast for old Hogan stories.
Not yet.
Oh, I could do. You're right. We should have some wrestling person host a podcast that's nothing but a Hogan call-in. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, take a couple of them and take out all the crap and just have a guy do a high spot. Anyway.
Do stay tuned, because when we do announce our third man, it's going to rock your world. Oh, he's a badass, too. He's a real badass.
They're really into this guy's
We're back.
ass.
We're better than ever. And you can't wait to see. And we're coming to get you. I think they're all coming back to our side. I know it. I can feel it. I can smell it. I can see it.
How long is this? Oh, thank God.
2 minutes and
Now let me. Is this him right now from
Rich
Fox?
is gonna mic me up real quick.
this is outside their New York thing. I sent
Eric, tell him what's going on.
You what?
I sent you a clip from Fox and Friends. I sent you the second one where they announced the third guy.
Speaking of people that Kevin Hazlett kept out of prison,
Yeah.
it's Nick Hogan.
Actually, I kept him out of prison.
Yeah, well,
Do you know how I did it?
I know how.
I wish I could talk about that.
I think it's best you don't.
Can I just say, because wrestling in chat, wrestling's taking a lot of like, this is why only idiots watch wrestling. This is not anything like wrestling.
No,
this is a whole other world of I don't know.
This is two dudes that are full of themselves that used to be very relevant in wrestling that no longer are, and trying to reinvent wrestling at on a whole different level, meaning like not even the same skill set. Like it's not even the same. It's not wrestling. It's shoot style.
They should have
freestyle.
They should have started another slap boxing league or something like
exactly.
that.
It's time, Hulk. I double dog dare you. We've been telling you about our third man, and today is the day.
Now, unless like Conor McGregor or Tito Ortiz or Chuck Liddell,
you don't know,
or like Randy Couture, like unless Rich Franklin, the muscle, somebody that was on the
Kimbo Slice.
Hold on. Who's the
Israel Martinez?
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hoist Gracie.
Izzy style.
Hoist Gracie. Somebody that was on the developing edge of UFC blowing up.
Israel Martinez.
Well, yeah, Izzy style.
Unless it's one of the guys I just mentioned, most of America doesn't know who this is.
He in high school he compiled 118 and 1 record.
Okay, let me. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? Let me tell you something. Caesar Grajales, who's working at his dad's tire shop right now, in South St. Pete, went 310 and 0.
But
more. Yeah, won 310 and 0.
Rubber City
won 4 Florida State championships.
4, Lonnie.
And could have been the only human being ever to win 5, as he qualified as an 8th grader. But when he went to the finals as an 8th grader, his senior cousin was his opponent, and the family thought it would be too much drama because Eric was going to win.
It was a loser leaves the family match.
And so they both DQ'd and got second and third, and the guy. So Caesar Grajales was one of the greatest wrestlers in Florida of all time. Went to Michigan, was a 3-time All-American. So like they're going to give us this guy's high school record.
No, he went to North Idaho College and he won the NJCAA.
So Hulk Hogan and Eric
Championship.
Bischoff are going to brag about how they got this guy that has developed so many champions and has, such a badass.
I think he also fought Jake Paul.
Well, no, but Bubba, there's 4 guys. It's Izzy. There's one more person there. John Cena. He's there.
You can't see him.
It's time, Hulk. I double dog dare you. We've been telling you about our third man, and today
Third man is shorter than Bischoff, and Bischoff isn't even tough.
is the day. 9-time state high school champion. The coach of 8 UFC champions. This man knows it all, has done it all, and I can't wait.
Now, if the dude turned around and it was Randy Couture or Tito Ortiz,
it's Scott Steiner, baby.
But you know what I'm saying, Brian? Like somebody that like, oh man, hold on, Tito Ortiz, I got it.
He did. He
Told you.
He is the head wrestling coach for John Jones.
Okay, great.
That's a
Trap. We told you we were Jack Boomba. Well, when I said we were stacked.
That's last night's head bartender at Hogan's Hangout. That's her tip jar.
I mean, we're ready to roll, bro. We're backed up.
Those are
after
bands,
backed
Bubba, by
up.
the
Here's
way.
a couple for the weekend, brother. What do you call this thing here? The monster, the master of disaster, the man that rules the world of wrestling. I mean, this is crazy.
What the hell?
This is crazy.
You've seen what these two have done before. We got the cash, we got the talent, and we got real American freestyle wrestling.
And we got our third man, Jack. You know, people are gonna tremble. People are gonna
This, I'm done. I can't. I'm embarrassed.
This is the greatest piece of art I've ever seen.
It is, Bubba. I know sometimes we might stretch to make fun of Hogan when he's hawking his beer on Fox News or something like this, but this, I don't even who.
I sent you a clip on Fox and Friends.
I mean, are these guys just deciding that these promos are good enough to put up on social media?
I don't know, buddy. I don't know who's handling Hogan. I don't know.
I think they're getting the guy from Monster Lobster to be a part of it too, because he had that good UFC career for a second, right?
We're gonna go to all the major venues. Our first one.
Look at that beard.
Now he's doing the NWO beard.
I mean, that just looks like spray paint on his face.
I mean, Hogan, brother, you're 73. How old? How old? Hey,
You
Alexa.
should know, man.
How
You were
old
his
is
best
how
friend
old is Hulk
forever.
Hogan?
71.
Is he 71?
The last time we checked.
71.
As of yesterday, when you asked the
You're
same question.
71 years old, buddy. You made a lot of money. I mean, I heard you took home $9 million from the Gawker deal. I heard you took home. Rumor has it, word on the street, don't know it to be true, but $50+ million on the Cox settlement when you didn't have to. You just paid off. Who's the guy's Trickell? He didn't get his 40 points. Because you just paid hourly. You got probably $40 or $50 million in the bank. Why do you have to do? Why do you got to be on camera?
Because I'm a narcissist, brother. This is about me. This is about my legacy. I'm not going out because of some hard R's I threw out on a Valentine's Day commercial on your show. We're talking about Brookie not being able to hook up with African American men that she may find attractive. I'm going out with Izzy
that, are you?
Martinez, the king of freestyle wrestling, baby.
We're going to go to all the major venues. Our first one is August 30th in Cleveland. But the main thing is, because Eric's so darn important to this venture, he knows how to deliver, produce, and make the fans care about these athletes. Like when Eric was explaining it to me, he goes, it's like The Voice. You shoot the backstory, he broke his leg when he was younger, his family fell apart, or
How about your backstory? Were you blasted my wife and got a big payday and I ruined my life?
Or,
How about that one?
He was in a car with his friends who was drunk and hit a pole and he was paralyzed and then now he's just still paralyzed.
And Bubba met us down at the emergency room and did a reverse Zabida.
Yeah.
Rewards, for wrestling growing up. But once we find out what the backstory is, when these guys come through the tunnel, you already care about the athletes. Plus, I was worried when I first hooked up with Izzy because of the charisma and the business I did. We like to entertain people too.
That's right.
I was worried about these young guys being like flat white bread, and once I got around them, they all
flat white bread. What are you?
I'll get that.
Well, I was wondering about him, and Wonder Bread is flat white
they've been
bread.
watching promos. They know about branding. They understand the opportunity, not only to make a ton of money doing what they love, freestyle wrestling, but we're going to go to all the major events.
Wow.
It's it, man. Freestyle wrestling is going to take this nation by storm. Singlets are going to be flying on the show.
Sitting here in the truck with Hulk Hogan and Nick, and we've got a Netflix camera.
Oh, Nick.
Well, Nick's his camera guy, pretty much.
Look, we're outside and we're about ready to walk into Hulk Hogan's new bar in location right across the street from Madison Square Garden. I've heard about it. I haven't seen it, so this is going to be fun as hell.
All right, you're on live. Tell them what's happening. Whoa, brother, I got my partner here, Eric Bischoff. Real American freestyle wrestling. Getting ready to rock your world. Going to take these athletes and take them all to the moon with us. Mega stars. And we're going to take a look at my brand new restaurant, Hulk Hogan's Score Sports Bar, right next to Madison.
So here's what happened, Brian. Scores, because OnlyFans have decimated strip joints. Scores thought they could partner with Hogan to get that last little oomph. Because right now, man, and even Matt Heller said this to me a few days ago, gentlemen's clubs are not doing well because of OnlyFans. Why am I gonna? If I'm a hot chick, why am I gonna sit here and do a 6 foot dance? I mean, do a dance for Grandpa for a $20 bill when I could show my jugs to 1,500 people on OnlyFans for $5,000.
It's not a strip club. He meant like he scores a sports bar. The name is
Square
Hulk Hogan
30?
Sports Bar.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
5 feet.
Creative.
First look at Hulk Hogan Scores Sports Bar.
Yeah.
So so it's not anything to do with Scores, the gentleman's club in New York.
Yeah, it's just a 3-story.
Did you hear
bar.
something about Hogan teaming up with Scores, or did you just assume?
No, I just assumed.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming because I know gentlemen's.
This is the way it's going to go down, brother. All the dancers come out to their own music and they have to tear off their tank.
I've heard that, Brian, please, God damn it, guys. I've heard that the gentlemen's club industry is dying because of OnlyFans. When you're going to call something Scores in New York City, I'm automatically going to assume that it's the gentleman's club.
Yeah,
if he was stupid enough to put Scores in there, well, it should just be Hulk Hogan Sports Club.
So
you should keep Scores out of it because Scores is a very recognizable brand in New York.
Yeah, so for some reason they have 2 names for the bar. It's a Hulk Hogan Sports Bar and Hulk Hogan Scores Sports Bar.
Away from the entrance to the garden, right by Penn Station, the house that Hulk Hogan rebuilt, the garden. We're going to kick ass and take names, and it's starting right now. You guys are going to get smartened up big time, brother.
You can see the garden right there through the moon top right there. You can see the garden.
This is awesome.
Right
Brother
there.
Rich!
This is the bar.
We got a problem?
Adjust the mic.
We're getting
real quick.
interference on this.
A lot of frequencies in New York.
Yep.
He sounds super slurry.
Yeah, what is that on his tongue, Bubba? Coma?
Hey, Vo.
Yes, sir.
Vo, get my weapon out, dog.
Which is my walking stick.
Is it?
Yeah.
See you. How y'all been?
Sorry, okay, good.
So good.
Eric, you excited for Real American Freestyle?
This has been a kind of fun day. You know, we did the interviews that were embargoed, and they came out today. Izzy's the Third Man came out today. And just watching the reaction live, social media. This is really fun. It's exciting. I never thought I'd sink my teeth into something this big and fun at this stage of my life, but here.
Oh no, you're living in Wyoming, doing nothing except a podcast called 83 Weeks. That's starting to die down. There's no money in that.
So it is called Hulk Hogan Scores Sports Bar,
right?
Yeah, it has 2 names.
I am.
It's stupid. Why?
But
would
it's affiliated with Scores. You
Okay,
were
there
right,
you go.
Bubba.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Is
You know
it?
what? You know what? I'll accept your apology right now.
But it's not
let me apologize.
One more time.
But it's not
We're back.
It's a diabolical duo.
Yes, sir, we're back. All right, this is strong. Brother Rich. Oh, guys, this is my
I told you it was his walking cane, did I not?
Yes, you did.
partner right here in Hulk Hogan's.
So Brother Rich is probably the guy the New York investor that he duped to put all the money into this sports bar. And so now this is his new best friend. Watch, he'll even say
Gore Sports Bar. He's the man that made this happen, and he's here.
Listen, I know how Hogan operates.
And I cannot believe.
So he's the one that
So
dumped
Rich Rosen is the
Rich-
president and CEO of Scores Sports Bars.
This is the guy that
sports bars.
Hogan duped into putting $3 or $4 million into a complete remodel of a space net. I mean, Brian, can you imagine what the triple net lease on that place is?
I sent you what it is, Bubba. Is this guy built this sports bar right next, and he needed a name.
Well, he built it and had nobody really cared.
Correct.
There was nobody that paid attention to Rich's sports bar.
Well, yeah, it was Score. Well, he's trying to build a brand, Scores Sports Bar, and send them around the country.
Yeah, well, he needed, nobody really is going to just Score Sports Bar.
How does a bar across from Madison Square Garden not work?
No kidding.
Oh, yeah.
He's got this whole thing rolling wide open. So all the fans, Nets, Islanders, Knicks, WWE fans, our bar, brother, is the place to be.
Well, let me just say this. First of all, I've been waiting months to do this.
No way.
These are the keys to
Wow.
Hulk Hogan's Score Sports Bar,
Wow.
brother. This I wanted to put in your hand.
Wow.
This is your legacy in
man.
front of the arena that is your house.
Wow.
The arena I saw you in 40 years ago.
Man.
I saw you in WrestleMania 40 years ago. And now I'm bringing you right back to New York City, right where you belong, right in front of the Garden, Hulk Hogan's house. Your name will be up here forever, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Accent.
You're
It'll be up here
keeping the
forever.
dream alive, man.
This is more than a dream. This is
okay.
the first stop.
I have a question. 2 keys. What's the difference of the keys? They're both the same?
One for you, and one for whoever else.
One for
is your
me.
backup.
I'll give one to Skiz Eye, and then the sign Tiz, I'll just will drink for Frizz.
If you want a deep dive into the Bubba the Love Sponge show from the past, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back after these words.
Reached out to me, said, "You'll never guess who's next to me."
It'd be crazy if they finally got him after all these years of being in Clearwater.
Yeah. Do they at least have like hot bartenders walking around in score shirts with their titties hanging out? Because I only like eating wings when there's titties in my face.
No, all the waitresses are dressed up like Heather.
So do you want to do one more break and then the Unsigned, or do you want to?
What are you eating there, Bubs?
Strawberries.
Like the lobster that Bill Belichick's girl made for him? Strawberries.
Dude, to have CBS and North Carolina put out statements yesterday is fucking wild.
We're gonna get into that.
I mean, maybe you don't bring your bitch with you to, like, Bubba would never be like, "Hey, Erica, come along to this big interview I'm doing with fucking..."
Never. None of my girls went to any of my fucking interviews.
No.
Yeah. H is both.
Here's a problem. He broke the first rule.
Yep. Never turn a hoe into a housewife.
Don't turn your fucking bitch into a fucking star.
Yep. Keep them in the background slinging your merch. Or Belichick hoodies.
Oh. Maybe with holes?
Maybe with holes.
I think she's the athletic director. This fucking bitch.
Well, she has to go with him wherever he goes, and she's got his balls in a vice. Am I right, Seth?
Big time balls and a big time vice.
Bitches be bitchin'.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be plenty of time for counting when the dealing's done.
When the dealing's done.
Is Islands in the Stream one of your favorite songs ever written of all time?
Islands in the Stream?
Yeah. Isn't that what it's called?
Islands in the Sun? Weezer?
No. Islands in the Stream.
Who sings that?
You're making me... That is what we are. Nowhere in between. Let me sail away to... And we and they stole it for that Bulworth rap song.
I don't know it, man. I'm sorry.
They stole the beat from Islands in the Stream and then repurposed it. They sampled it in the Bulworth, ODB and Maya. You know what I'm talking about? The rap song from Bulworth.
I don't know what Bulworth is.
With Warren Beatty. What was it called? What was the big hit? Ghetto Superstar.
Oh, yeah.
Ghetto Superstar. That is Islands in the Stream.
Oh, okay.
That is what we are. Nowhere in between.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know there was a big black story. Black story. I didn't know there was a big black story.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
It finally came out.
Oh, boy.
I'm G. Lasker's protege.
Your alter ego is Seth Lasker.
Shit.
Let me powder coat that pussy. Have you been tainted? Or are you still pure?
You guys ever done a bit where anybody impersonates Gene talking dirty?
Yeah.
No, because his wife would be mad as fuck.
Love you, Sarah, but I still got to do this. So what I'm going to need you to do right now is slowly unzip your pants.
Like this.
Now come over here and sit on Daddy's lap. Oh, man. In the background, they're playing I'm an Indian Outlaw.
John Costica, $100.
Johnny!
Woo!
Johnny, my boy.
Johnny K.
Fucking slinging D and
I think he
Valpo,
fucking
baby.
also. I think he may have Kate. I think
Number-
he may have PayPal'd me.
Number 2 dude from Valpo all time behind Bryce Drew. John Costeka.
Who?
Bryce Drew, man.
Didn't he hit that one shot?
He hit that one shot. And then he went on to like either coach or something.
His dad was the coach, right? His dad was the coach of that
Yeah.
team, wasn't he?
Yeah. Andrew Drew.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito Studios. Aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
I can't wrap my head around two things. One, what Hogan's attempting to do right now. And then two, Hogan's only half jumped the shark.
What?
Bill Belichick. Oh my God. I mean, I'm embarrassed for the guy.
Well, this thing's just, I mean, it was just kind of an awkward interview, but it's just turned into CBS put out a statement yesterday. North Carolina put out a statement. It's,
But Bill Belichick is letting this 25-year-old absolutely, positively be the booker. She calls all the shots. She shuts down interviews when they're not going the way she wants. She's telling him
what he can and can't say.
What he can and cannot say.
I guess he wanted to have Hard Knocks at UNC, and she shut that down.
I got a Bill Belichick plethora of stuff to go through before I go into words, and then I have my unsigned band review.
These are the only 2 hard knocks you're going to get.
Jordon was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordon right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with...
I don't understand how Bill Belichick doesn't realize that he's on CBS, probably their second most popular segment behind 60 Minutes. This Sunday morning deal is very big for them.
It's usually softball fest in his defense.
But how do you not?
He showed up like he's like the lead singer of Imagine Dragons, you know? I mean,
you're right.
Is that a leaf or a tear in his shirt?
That's a tear. Like, how do you with stains all over it?
And Dan Patrick said you're wearing a Navy shirt and you're the coach of North Carolina.
Yeah, like Jesus.
In the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with that.
She's over there just lurking, ready to shut it down at any time.
But they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting.
Rumors have it now. I don't know it to be true. It could be completely just a rumor. It could be 100% false. But rumor on the streets, hot news, is that potentially she might have been an escort.
That's what people are. Bill said they met on a plane in his statement yesterday in 2021.
On their way back from Epstein Island.
UNC now Seth is right. University of North Carolina, they've come out with a statement. CBS has come out with a statement. I don't know if Bill Belichick's come out with a statement.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much over the past couple of days, she took a screenshot of an email from Bill Belichick initially saying that he wanted to stay on focus of the book, but then nobody wants to talk about his book because it's just about, his rise and everything like that. They don't get into the relationships he had with Robert Kraft or Tom Brady or Deflategate or any of that stuff. So he wanted to just stick with...
And quite frankly, his life is pretty boring.
He's boring. Yeah, he wanted to stick with the boring stuff. And CBS said that when they set up the interview that they never put any parameters on what they were able to discuss.
I tell you, she does look pretty steamy there. I will tell you that.
I mean, if you were 70 and pulling that,
right.
Life's good, man. But you don't need to bring her around with you everywhere you go.
If you're pulling that and you're running that and you're acting like a man
Because they say you don't piss where you work out.
Well, let me say, well, sometimes you do in the corner of the gym when the bathroom's full, but you don't. A woman like this, she gives off escort call girl vibes.
She does.
Because she wants to be seen.
Yes.
She wants to be front and center.
In control.
She has an $8 million real estate portfolio months after she met Bill Belichick. I know too much about this. I'm sorry.
UNC personnel is worried about that Jordon Hudson's influence on Bill Belichick could be a problem. Belichick in Houston recent appearances in CBS Morning's interview is not setting well with UNC. Here is...
Well, that might not be true anymore, Bubba, since they put out that statement on North Carolina's website yesterday.
Something Corporate's re-releasing their song, If You See Jordan, and actually making it, She Makes Me Sick.
A statement from CBS News on the interview with Mr. Bill Belichick. When we agreed to speak to Mr. Belichick, it was for a wide-ranging interview. There were no preconditions or limitations to this conversation. This was confirmed repeatedly by his publisher before the interview took place. And after it was completed. So, CBS, was proactive in saying, hey, listen, is there anything we need to stay away from? Is there anything Bill didn't want us to talk about? Is there any no-go zones?
People think it's funny, too, now that he's trying to use the media to sell his book when he has disrespected the media throughout his whole career.
And at the end of the day, man, why does Bill Belichick need a book?
Somebody offered him a bunch of money.
Yeah, I know, but
that's it, Bubba. That's all it is.
Bill, just go away, buddy.
Jordon Hudson helped kill UNC's Hard Knocks project over personnel involvement after Bill Belichick pushed for it. So Hard Knocks wanted to,
do like a college version.
Do a college version of Hard Knocks with UNC, and supposedly.
It said she made the NFL uncomfortable about her with the amount of involvement she was trying to have.
Yeah, he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she didn't put the kibosh on it. The NFL did. They said, we're not dealing with her. That's what that headline leads me to believe. I haven't read the full article.
Yeah, it said Jessica Body, the NFL's vice president for communications and operations and business affairs, said in an email to UNC's counsel confirming that showmakers will not proceed... just more commercials. Will not proceed with the production of the Belichick project on March 3rd, 2 days after NFL's films set to begin production on a 5-part docu-series. So the NFL Productions were going to do kind of like a docu-series.
Yeah, go up to the headline, though. The headline says, Jordon Hudson made NFL uncomfortable as she helped kill Hard Knocks deal. That says something.
Yeah, I mean...
the NFL's dealt with some very sticky situations and been able to handle them, but they couldn't handle this Jordan chick.
A quote from the University of North Carolina. I agreed to speak to CBS Sunday morning. It's very small, so I can't really. It's
make
hard
it bigger,
to read.
Bubba. Click on it.
I can't. Can I make it bigger?
Yeah, you can make that bigger.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
You just changed my life.
Agreed to speak. I agreed to speak to CBS Sunday morning to promote my new book, The Art of Winning, Lessons from My Life in Football. Prior to this interview, I clearly communicated with my publicist at Simon & Schuster that any promotional interviews I participated in would agree to focus solely on the contents in my book. Unfortunately, that expectation was not honored during the interview. I was surprised when unrelated topics were introduced, and I repeatedly expressed to the reporter, Tony, whoever, and the producers that I prefer to keep the conversation centered on the book.
Oh, God.
After this occurred several times, Jordon, with whom I share both a personal and professional relationship with, stepped in to reiterate this point to help me refocus the discussion. She was not deflecting any specific question or topic, but simply doing her job to ensure the interview stayed on track. Her job. Almost like he has her employed, right?
She is.
Yeah, she's...
Some clips made it appear as if we were avoiding the question about how we met, but we have been open about that fact that Jordon and I met on a flight to Palm Beach in 2021. The final 8-minute segment does not reflect the productive 35-minute conversation we had, which covered a wide range of topics related to my career. Instead, it presents selectively edited clips and stills from just a few minutes of the interview to suggest a false narrative that Jordon was attempting to control the conversation, which is simply not true.
Her job is to deflate the balls.
This is such a distraction for these young men who want to be coached by an all-time great and probably a lot of which committed to go to North Carolina when they had other options just because they thought they were getting Bill Belichick.
She's
not Bill Belichick with said bitch.
Her title is Chief Operating Officer of Belichick Productions. And she also is she runs the multi-platform media project Chapel Bill LLC.
Chapel Bill, that's cute.
Goodness.
I like that. She definitely came up with that.
Can somebody please
She
go?
100% came up with that.
Can somebody please put a wanted? Lost and found Bill Belichick's balls.
Creatine Travis, $100.
Thank you, Creatine.
Like I said, her number one job is to deflate those balls.
Yeah, she has. Lummy, when we return, should we do the unsigned band review?
Yes, sir.
I think Macho Man's got them zoomed up, ready to go. It's the Wonderlands band from Cincinnati, now Nashville. The Wonderlands are Miles, Adam, Jill, Derek, and Patrick. As fortune would have it, they have an album coming out the day after our interview. The album is called The Great Escape. It's our third full-length album. Our feature song right now is In Between. Also, all social media tags are at the Wonderlands Band. Wonderlands being plural. The Wonderlands Band. Let me know, are we going to have their song to play?
Yes, it's on the button bar. It's
Are we going to get a copyright strike?
They have whitelisted it.
Fantastic. Let's get them queued up.
So we have Miles. He's the head vocals.
Miles Jenna.
Yes.
Is the vocalist.
Yes.
Of the Wonderlands Band. Continuing our unsigned band review on Thursday. We'll do that next.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
East Room in Nashville, Tennessee, or at Smith's Old Bar with an E, Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, but can you tell me who's performing at Hogan's Scores Bars of St. Pete, Madison Square Garden?
We're gonna have Derringer, brother.
Well, who's the guy's name that wrote his song? And then Jimmy Hart's gonna be doing a set.
J.J. Johnson.
J.J. Johnson.
Oh, Jimmy Hart's going to be doing Keep On Dancing.
Keep on dancing, dancing, shake it, baby. Come on and show me how to work.
They're kind of like
I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
They got kind of a jazzy kind of feel.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Miles. Okay, and go like that, go like that. And then okay, let me see. Wonderlands band in between, so I got them on 3 and 4 over there. Perfect. It just came down.
Cash, I'll make sure he's aware of your comment. I tried to get they would play for somebody on the phone, dark match, but it was shot down.
What's that?
When we do not this week, but in future games, that you'll be playing for a listener to win a prize. If you
Mic check 1 2 2 2. Can you hear me, bud?
Got in the queue?
Yes, I sure can.
Okay, perfect. We're going to be on in about 3 minutes.
Sounds good.
Thank you, buddy.
No worries.
Cool. Yeah, he was freaking out because he couldn't hear anything.
Okay, cool.
Oh, here
so I got the intro.
Watch out, boys, shoot you.
Unsigned band, the intro's coming back, and there's no bed, so it just goes right.
Okay, this goes right into it. Okay, perfect.
You want me to play their song?
No, I'll hit the song.
Yeah, you hit the song. There's a blue one right here.
Yeah, I got three up.
You'll only come out at night, lean and hungry tight. Nothing is new. I've seen her here before. Watching and waiting.
The other day, you and I,
Ooh,
you said
she's sitting with
someone's
you,
gonna say
but
something.
her eyes are on the door. So many are paid to see what you think you're getting for free. The woman is wild, and she can't tame by the purr of the dragon.
God, shut the fuck up.
Money's the man. I got a request, Bubba. I have to sing it.
Thank you, Cash. I appreciate that a lot, man. Thank you.
Yeah, we're doing the Blizzard, and we're gonna have Tech. Yeah, Tech 9's getting pushed back to the Blizzard. So we'll talk to Tech about what he's got going on.
Brian and I are trying to get a record deal.
That's right. Do I got Tech 9 today?
Yeah, 12 o'clock.
Oh, shit. You got questions for me?
Yeah, I got some questions for you. I got his new song. I'll put all that stuff down there for you.
And should I get into the Machine Gun Kelly shit? Or is that yesterday's news?
I think it's always pertinent.
Yeah. About how
MGK versus Eminem will live on forever.
Who won that?
Eminem made him change genres.
Yeah.
For real?
He became a rock guy.
Yeah, he started becoming like alternative rock guy.
But got in that.
I mean, isn't Eminem like one of the gods of rap?
To me, he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't it get Machine Gun Kelly that Megan Fox pussy?
Yeah, that's some good pussy.
I don't think Eminem's ever wanted for pussy. I bet
you Eminem gets all kinds of pussy.
He banged Mariah Carey.
Eminem?
Yeah.
He ain't dating Mariah Carey.
No, he banged her. He
banged
banged
her.
Christina Aguilera.
Yeah, he fucks him and leaves him.
He got her before Fred Durst, according to the song.
Mm-hmm.
She looks good now.
I know. I was saying like for that little bit.
Oh, Lummy, are you going to be in there with? I guess I don't need you for Machine Gun. I mean, for.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be that Bubba one-on-one.
Yeah. Just that's all.
Nah, we're gonna need you, Lummy.
I'm not gonna need Lummy.
We're gonna need you.
Bubba one-on-one. Breaking it down old school.
For those of you who don't know, which I'm assuming is most of you.
From practicing in the garage
So if I decide to bust out a solo, do me a favor and give me the freedom to rock it.
to headlining stadiums.
And we will rock you.
With a few stops along the way, here's the most important one.
Hey, say it.
This is the Unsigned Band Review on the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
So, standing by, I have Miles. Miles, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, my man. How are you doing this morning?
Good. Now, how did you guys find out about, our segment? We did it for years when we were on Sirius XM, and we just brought it back. I think you guys are the third band that we've done it. How did you find?
Okay.
How did you guys find out about it?
So it's a little bit of nepotism. My father is a stand-up comedian who was in Florida who introduced me to the program.
Okay.
And that's how we got connected. That's how we got connected.
Now,
so.
does he live down here, or is he just touring?
No, he was touring down there. He lives up in Cincinnati, Ohio.
What's his...
Jeffrey? Yeah, I'll plug him right now. Jeffrey Jenna. He's got a special out on Dry Bar right now. Yeah, Jeffrey Jenna.
Jeffrey Jenna. Nice. Now, can a guy like your dad make a decent living doing some stand up?
Absolutely, he can. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still doing it at 72.
For real?
Yeah.
72.
Yeah, man.
Now, so did he happen to just hear the show or hear about the show and knew that we promote Unsigned Band? Or
when he was down doing, I guess, a stand up in Tampa, he tuned into the show, and it's when we promoted doing the Unsigned Band Review.
Oh, okay.
He reached out, sent me an email, and said my son's in a band, and I think it'd be good. So I reached out, and here we are.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Now Miles is the lead vocalist. He's got Adam, Jill, Derek, and Patrick as part of the Wonderlands band. Now, how long have you guys been together?
This is year 5 for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys are Originally from Cincinnati. I used to be on WEBN way back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, way back
Hell
in the way back in the day.
Hell yeah.
And then, like a lot of bands, the Cincinnati scene probably isn't like the Nashville scene. And so
honestly, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in Cincinnati, but we had to get a little closer to the center of the sun, the center of the universe down here in Nashville. There's a lot of cool music in Cincinnati, but there's not a lot of the business in Cincinnati. So
right, meaning like, there's a lot of cool new music or whatever type music scene in Cincinnati, but there's not the production studios, there's not the writers, the people that can propel you potentially to the next level. There's not the promotional aspect in Cincy that there is in Nashville.
Yeah, if you're talking the commercial side of the business, it's just there's not enough scale like there is in Nashville to really make a run at it.
Now,
that's why we moved.
Have you guys ever been contacted by somebody in Nashville that has the it factor that could propel you guys? I mean, because everybody's looking for the next thing, if you will.
Yeah, man, we've been around. I mean, labels and distribution companies and agents from WME and UTA and all sorts of stuff, man.
Yeah, but you know now today's a whole different world in the fact that like if you're good enough and you establish through touring and through merch and through your website and through your social media that you can develop a following enough to probably make a living and not have to sell your soul on like a 365 deal that some of these bands are doing. And, if you're good enough, you can probably, now it's a tough life, gig to gig. It's a tough life and you might have to have another job, but you don't have to necessarily sign that deal with the devil. You can kind of do, if you're good enough, kind of do it on your own a little bit.
Yeah, I think something interesting that's happening right now is that bands are kind of doing it a la carte. So they're doing one-off deals with certain industry folks for a certain song or a certain project. So somebody that'll provide label services for a certain album and only take a small percentage instead of signing their whole a 4-album deal or a 360 deal, like you said, or signing a 5-7 year, 10-year thing. So we've kind of been piecing it up and working with the right partner for the right song or the right project as we go.
About 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, we'd have bands in here that were unsigned that were good. I mean, that we actually had signed bands, and they would be playing like smaller venues and stuff, and we'd have them in, and the dudes are just worn out, and we're like, sorry, we're a morning show, but you have to be here at a certain time. And then I talked to them afterwards. They're like, you don't understand. We make $500 a week. And the label, they make every dollar. They provide our tour bus, but they'll probably end up charging that back to us. And we signed this 360 deal where we're basically employees of the label. And if our song would hit on radio or otherwise, it didn't matter if we sell one copy or 10 million. We're paid employees of this particular label. We signed our life away, basically.
Absolutely.
Just to have the prestige to be on, a label. And I think that since that time has gone down, it social media, TikTok, Instagram, that's kind of reformed that thinking where you can kind of do it on your own as long as your music's good. Now, if it sucks, I ain't got nothing for you,
Absolutely.
So,
I think you're right.
So, but I like to say now the format of what we do is I play the song, and we all collectively listen to it, and I've been radio 40 years. Makes me sound old, but collectively we probably have 100 years of experience for listening to new and established bands and what have you. So we're somewhat critical, but Lummy, I will tell you, the two people we've had before him. What was it? Below Alabama.
Yes.
And then
Felicity.
Felicity. Both were great. Like I try to skew on the side of not liking you. I want to be a prick and make you feel uncomfortable, but I couldn't with these guys. I was like, whoa, this is pretty good. So I want to warn you that we're a little stiff. And anything
ready
that
for it.
anything that we say, please take as constructive criticism. We're not just going to hate you so that we can make you feel uncomfortable. We're truly going to give you our honest opinion. You know, like last time, Lummy, was it the last song we played? Our one criticism was we thought the vocals were buried a little bit.
Yeah, Below Alabama's.
Yeah, Below Alabama. Great song with like, hey, listen, guys, just food for thought. You may not even, but we think the vocals need to be a little hotter. But you guys do what you want. So we're gonna give you our opinion of it, and if it ends up being good, I hope you give us permission to play it because we'll bump in with it during our show. We'll promote all of your new stuff. Now I think you guys actually got a brand new album that drops tomorrow. As a matter of fact.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
It's your third full-length album. It's called The Great Escape. How many songs on that album? And is the song we're going to hear here the single of that album, so to speak?
Yeah, it's a shorter album. It's just a 7-song album. It's our first album we're going to press to vinyl. The song you're about to hear is called The In Between, and it is a single from this album.
And are you going to press that as a single? Are you going to,
No, we're not going to press it as a single. We're just going to press the whole project.
Now,
it's out as a single right now, though.
But not on vinyl, just digitally.
Not on vinyl, just
Right.
digitally. Yeah.
Now, do you see bands that, like, for nostalgia reasons or for collectors' reasons, you'll press a certain amount of vinyl because that's kind of a marketing kind of deal, and people will buy it? I know a lot of bands are doing that nowadays.
Yeah, it's one of the number one items to sell at your merch booth, and it has a pretty high margin because of what people are willing to pay for a vinyl. And that's why bands are doing it. People want to buy physical. That's what fans want.
Right. Like, what does a vinyl retail for at a show? Like $20?
A little more than that right
40,
now.
50.
I mean, 40 or 50.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll probably sell them for 35. But I mean, if you go to a little bit bigger of a show, if you're in a show at a theater or an arena or something, they'll sell you a vinyl for 50, 75, 100 bucks.
Really?
Yeah.
And I mean, talk about margins. I mean, you probably got, I don't know, $2 in printing it. I mean, I'm just saying.
It's a little more than that, but it's still pretty good margins.
Right.
You're printing them for I think last time I checked $7 or $8 when you buy a pretty large amount of them and you're selling 35. 40,
So Miles, I got to ask, if we don't like this Wonderland song, are you prepared with a We the Ubiquitous song for us?
Oh no way.
Well, what's that? What is that? Brian, what's that?
That was his first foray into starting a band with his buddy Adam.
Really?
If you play a We the Ubiquitous song, I'm gonna have to copyright claim it, and we're gonna have to get it.
You're hanging. If we roll into that, you're hanging up, right?
100%.
You know what's funny is it's called We the Ubiquitous, but it's not anywhere.
Oh, it's intentionally not anywhere. It's intentionally not anywhere.
Brian,
I'm surprised.
Listen, Brian is he can find anything.
Yeah.
Great curveball, Brian. It really, we actually, you actually got Miles squirming a little bit on that one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right. So listen, Miles, without further ado, let's go ahead and listen to The In Between. This is the new single from the album that gets released tomorrow. It's their third full-length album. It's called The Great Escape. This is the single for that. So here we go. This is the Wonderlands, our third unsigned band.
Yes.
With the lead vocalist right here. And here we go.
And I know it feels like
Lummy, I got to tell you, when we used to do the Unsigned band review, it was just so obvious when somebody sucked.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the equipment's gotten better or we're just attracting better bands. But it used to be it was hard to find somebody that was good. Now it's kind of hard to find somebody that sucks. Yeah. It's like I feel like a softie where I just want to like say everything's good because I'm getting older and I don't. But I liked it.
What I liked most about it is you can hear so many different influences in there. You know, I'm getting like a little bit of Airborne Toxic Event, and I'm getting a little bit of Panic at the Disco kind of in the, and then you've got this kind of like acid jazz drum in the back
then
going
you got
hard.
kind of like a small little ska feeling kind of, and then I don't know who the hell your drummer is, but that bitch can play.
He's upstairs sleeping right now.
You might want to sign him to a long-term deal. That bitch is going to get picked off, man. I'm telling you that right now. He is good.
He's an animal.
I got to tell you, you guys harmonize well. And your vocals, like as soon as I heard it, I was like, wow, is that the dude I'm talking to, right? I mean, you got some very unique vocals. It's got a big sound, very unique vocals. That I'm just writing some of my notes down. Did you see where somebody called him the Queens of Leon instead of the Kings of Leon?
I was gonna say, are you guys reading your check? Because I think your audience hates it.
No, well, you got to understand.
Well, our audience
hey, Miles, you have to understand. You could literally pose a question. Do you like Bubba? And they would say, no, we hate him.
If you were singing about taking your cousin down to the crick, in a country twang, they'd be more into it. I gotta say, look, and Seth's a big alternative music guy. I love fresh sounding, different sounding alternative music, and I think that's where, I mean, it's hard to categorize your music and pigeonhole it. It's not pop. It's alt. To me, it's kind of like an alt pop jazz vibe to it. I could see you guys jamming on stage for 10 minutes playing that song. It has like a jam band feel to it too.
Matt Pinfield over there. Yes.
Well, I mean, is that you come from the alt world?
Is that
an alt feelings? Is that an
alt world birthed me? I have a couple of comparisons. I feel it has like a Young the Giant Mute Math vibe, which is something.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. See, so that's something I would listen to in my own time. So I definitely am a fan of it.
Wow. Again, listen, the worst thing you can do, Miles, is go to our chat because they are, I mean, like, again, you could literally post a question, do you want Bubba to die after the show today? And they would say yes.
Well, listen, it's the same thing yeah, I mean, you can put that up. It's the same thing in our YouTube comments. You know, I've learned that actually you need a certain amount of hate to know that you're doing okay.
Right.
In life.
Right.
If everybody likes what you're doing, it's not. It's probably not very good.
If everybody likes what you do, and then they're gonna accuse you of buying bots to say that you're the best, So
of course, and you probably are.
You gotta have a certain amount of suckage in there. And listen, I've been doing this a long time. Alt isn't necessarily my jam, but what I am is I'm familiar with a good, full, well-produced, tight sound, great drummer, cool time. It's harmonized well. It's produced really well. Your vocals are tight. I'd love to hear some more stuff from you guys. And but let me if we have a sound effect, definitely.
I checked out some of the other songs, and I'm not in. That's not my genre that I listen to, and I found myself listening to all the songs and actually enjoying it.
Man, we are really some pussies because it used to be. I mean, we just hated everything because everything like we would play stuff, Lummy, and I don't know if equipment's gotten better but it just everything now just sounds tighter, stronger, more well produced, and
they're good musicians.
And you're right, and I think we've gotten three sets of good musicians, and this is one of them. Very highly recommended. If you have an opportunity to go out and get the album tomorrow. Now, of course, probably all the Apple, iTunes,
everywhere,
Spotify, everywhere you would buy stuff digitally. The album's going to be called The Great Escape. It's their third full-length album. This song here we just played is called In Between, and their group, all social media tags, all of them are at the Wonderlands. Plural, at the Wonderlands Band. Now, how'd the band name come?
Me and Adam, who started the band, we we were in a band called We the Ubiquitous, as previously mentioned. I was going to get there if you guys didn't, but
you were not. You were going to lie about that completely.
Well, it's part of the name. I might have lied about it, but it's part of the name story. We were playing festivals, and promoters couldn't pronounce our name. We had an MC one time that literally botched it so bad and it like ruined the vibe of our set. Nobody knew who we were. That the merch was horrible.
I mean, that is a horrible name. I mean,
It's horrible.
It's horrible.
Horrible. So we decided we wanted to take a shot at being better and making a career and such. And so we changed the name first to one of our favorite singers is in this band, Switchfoot. His name's John Foreman. He's got a set of his own EPs, and they're called the Wonderlands EPs. And we named him after those albums.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we named the band after those albums. And then we hired some amazing players and jazz degree grads from University of Cincinnati to be in our band. So that's why they sound so great. That's why our drummer's so crazy.
You got to tell Derek, man. He really listen. I know Adam's great, Jill, Patrick, Derek, you, but man, Derek really. I mean, you could really appreciate his skill set on this particular single. I mean, great job.
Yeah, we gave him a pretty long rope on this one. He took it and used it. So
and you can catch him at the East Room in Nashville tomorrow and Smith's Old Bar in Atlanta the next night. That's a quick turnaround. You guys are hopping in the car and driving, huh?
Yeah, we're actually at the end of a tour. This is kind of a album release celebration weekend this weekend. So Nashville and Atlanta this weekend, and then we've got on our website and all of our socials, we'll have festivals and all sorts of fun stuff this summer.
Any Florida routing at all?
Not yet. Not yet.
But maybe
just tell us where to go.
Janice Landing.
Yeah. Listen, let's keep in touch, my friend. I really like your stuff. I'd like to promote your stuff. Let me make sure you stay on top of where they're at and their new stuff, and use our various platforms that are pretty large and influential to help these guys out. This guy's a great dude. His dad, his 71 or 2-year-old stand-up comedian father. That's kind of a cool way on how he stumbled upon us.
Yeah, just listening to us in the car.
And hopefully you will share this interview and this segment with your fellow bandmates.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we've become friends where we help you, you help us. That's kind of how it goes.
Absolutely. I really appreciate you all having me on this morning. It's very cool of you guys.
Miles, good luck to you. We'll probably play this one more time before we leave, and updates as you get them. And man, thank you for coming on the show. And by the way, great job. Great stuff.
Oh, thank you. Can I just say one thing?
Absolutely.
Spotify users can now pre-save the album right in the Spotify app. You don't have to use any weird links. So if you just go to our profile, The Wonderlands, on Spotify, you can hit pre-save right on the album. So the album's already listed with the track list, and they can hit it right there in the app.
Boom, right now, like as we speak.
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect. Miles, good talking to you. And you know what? Great job, my friend.
Thanks, man. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Good luck to you. We are fans and supporters.
Thank you.
See you later, buddy.
Have a good one.
Thank you. And I thought that stuff was pretty good.
Great personality. Look, it may not
guy.
be your cup of tea, but that's still good music. Like, you can say it's not your style, but there's nothing about that music that was bad. Right?
Oh, no,
I mean, like that's the thing.
You may be a rock guy or a metal guy, but if you have appreciation for good music, just well produced, tight, good music, they're good musicians.
I mean, they clearly are musically trained. They're not a bunch of schlubs that are throwing it together in a garage. They've all worked towards this. So
you're right. They're clearly musicians, trained.
It's like going to a restaurant you don't like the style of food and being like, "Oh, it's a terrible restaurant." No, it's just not your style of food.
I just don't like asparagus, but I heard they had the best asparagus in town.
Exactly. So it is a little upsetting. I know. Look, people want you to be a dick and everything like that.
I want to be a dick.
I sold out. No, that's my type of type of music. I like that.
And here's the deal, man. But here's the deal. I saw Bubba's getting soft, and listen, if it sucked, if it was not produced well and it sucked, I would be like, buddy, it ain't happening. There ain't nothing here, bud. I'm sorry. Like, it's not mixed right. I can't hear anything. The concept is all over the road. It's no good. I have a history of not holding back.
Yes, you do. Exactly.
So, but I also have a history of being fair. And, if you're going to fairly rate that band, they're good.
It's good music.
They're good.
If you love that segment, then check out BubbaArmyHQ.com and do a deep dive on past shows. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be right back.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fact that his dad found us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, you know, his dad was
What
down
a
here.
good dad looking out for his son.
That's right.
He's like, I want this fucking kid out of my house. Our band name is the Couch Surfers. Is there one? I imagine somebody's taken that by now.
Oh, they probably have already. There's probably been about 45,000 of them. No one ever made it.
You're right. There might be 45,000 couch surfers.
Yeah.
Groups.
There's only one, we, the ubiquitous.
I gotta go save some of that to listen to later.
Save some of what?
Based on your dick size.
What?
What?
Macho wants to know, do you want to come back with the bumper?
Yeah. I'm gonna come back with that song.
Okay.
That'll burn me some time, then we can get the fuck out of here.
All right.
What up, Fred? Hope you're
So
good,
he's gonna
man.
put
What's up,
that
Thomas?
as your bumper in.
You just bumper it right on in.
All right.
I don't have to say nothing.
All right.
I wish some listeners would get together and form the Bubba Army Band and put together some music for us.
Right, it's because they're so fucking great.
Well, no, I'm just saying there's got to be enough talented people out there that we could patch together a fan band called the Bubba Army Band or Labrador Infant.
Okay.
Yeah, I
so
know.
we should
come
go
on.
film.
I know. We're past that.
I mean, come on.
We're past
Ryan.
that low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. Thank you, Seth.
man.
You know what, Seth? Thank you kindly for
Thank you.
finally sticking up for me on just straight zookeeper, low-hanging fruit.
Low-hanging.
Bullshit.
Low-hanging. Rotting. It's actually rotting. It's so low-hanging.
Right.
Per se.
Rotten Fruit is my name at the gay clubs. That's rotten fruit over there. Fish.
What's up, Jay Bull?
You don't want to blaspheme. That's rotten fruit.
What's up, Troy? That's actually a pretty good nickname. I don't know. I mean, it just sounds cool.
Well, Bubba used to have a gay guy on the show, Juicy Fruit. Whatever happened to Juicy Fruit?
No, remember F. Terry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy was unfucking believably
Juicy
funny.
Fruit was great too, man.
Juicy Fruit was okay, but he was just a straight guy that was playing a gay guy. F. Terry was 100% gay and would be like, oh, I just passed this Mexican doing lawn work with no shirt on. I think I got to go turn back and try to get his phone number. Like, I mean, he was funny as fuck.
He was Canadian?
No, he thought he was into like the 1920s Greta Garbo type era.
Okay.
Real flamboyant, like he was like Liberace, like
Pin-up girls.
He was a big guy too.
He was a big dude. He was like 6'4", like like 225, and he had his hair like a Bobby Heenan, like kind of like a Bobby Heenan kind of fucking hairdo, and
when did he change his name to Lummox?
And he was on the 98 Rock show, and he would get in big arguments with Ned. Because he wanted to, do it with Ned.
What's up, Brent?
Ned would get him going and be like, all right, Terry, pull your pants down.
What is lost can never be saved.
We'll take you down to the mangroves. Get it on with you there.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I was listening to that past couple days, just checking out their different stuff. I figured, I think this might be
So, Lummy, I'm going to go to my apartment.
Yeah?
And I'll be back here at 45.
Okay.
I'll make love to you on a bed of tiger lilies. Yes.
Oh,
That's good stuff, man.
Broke broken ribs with a week off is a really bad combination. Note that for me, Seth.
No, I'm just on straight ass.
Must be on pain. He's on opioids.
I'm on a leave, baby.
He's on
all day
a leave.
strong, all
right.
day long.
Right, you're going to be on a leave,
I don't
right?
know, one energy drink could set this guy into another stratosphere. I mean, who knows what happens?
No, this guy's got some tolerances when it comes to some shit. Don't let him fucking...
No way! I saw him drink the moonshine and his eyes started twitching.
back in the.
You should have seen what my butthole
Hold
was
on.
doing.
Jesus.
Back in Brian's 20s,
self-lubricating.
Back in Brian's 20s, he'd chop it up with you.
Oh no, there's some story on the blizzards of fucking and sucking.
Yeah,
he went home. He took a stripper,
and he would chop it up. And he would.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito studios, aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Today at noon, I'll be interviewing live Tech 9, Lummy.
He's going to collab with the Wonderlands.
Yeah. You know what, Lummy? I should say, hey, Tech, I know it's not your jam, But we do this thing called the Unsigned Band Review, where we take these bands that have not, been signed or to big labels and what have you, and give them an opportunity, play their music, critique it. And here's the one that we did today, and we liked it. May not be our genre, so to speak, but and play it for them, and let me see what Tech would say.
Yeah, why not?
Obviously, it's absolutely a 180 from what he does. But maybe a guy like that didn't. I think one of the stories that I brought up with Tech Nine one time, and it was a story that I had seen somewhere else, and Tech Nine was blown away by it. But Elton John was in Seattle and was seen in an old school vinyl record store. And he was he was touring or whatever, and had sneaked out and got into and he actually bought a Tech Nine album and was a Tech Nine fan. Elton John, which would be a complete 180 from what Elton John does. And Tech Nine was just blown away that Elton John was a fan of his stuff. So if you're Tech Nine, you don't have to just like rap. I'm sure he appreciates all type of music.
Yeah.
Well, he's collabed with a ton of people.
Yeah.
That, outside of just rap.
Bubba's going to redo that song for me. I can't take him anymore. He's overrated.
Boy,
if you want more
Seth,
of that, the Blizzard's coming up at 10:30.
There you go, Seth. I'm saying, you're his biggest proponent. And boy, it was a handful today, was it not, Bob?
I'm gonna have a Cena type heel turn on Babyface during the Blizzard tonight.
The early returns are best show of the week. We need more of this.
Let me see if you can maybe find a metal chair so Seth could go right over the noggin with him.
I got one back there.
Maybe make that face a little more shoveled.
We're gonna get juiced the hard way.
Just don't hit me in the ribs, bro. We'll get into that story and more on the Blizzard.
Am I going to be on YouTube, X, Face, or am I just going exclusively YouTube at the Tech?
We were going to go exclusively with
All right,
YouTube.
let's go. We'll go exclusively with YouTube on my Tech 9 interview. That should be right at noon, and it's just a Bubba one-on-one.
Yeah, and then
me and Tech. Let me give you some notes.
Will do.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge,
co-host and show historian, Lummit.
It's Seth, co-host and president of podcasting.
It's Brian Matroni, king of counter programming.
You're wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
Co-host, Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire, of Council. Co-host, J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra, of Council.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repeat hello. I'm back.